Hi guys, let me know if you can hear and see me clearly, please. Is the audio and video clear? Welcome. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Let's see. Hey Annie, welcome. Um, I'm trying to remember. That's YouTube, right? This is Facebook and TikTok. Okay, yeah. I don't know if you can share that out, but if you can, please share it out. Thank you. Guys, tap the screen, share the live out, please. Hey, straightforward, welcome. Hey, Tay, welcome, Alaris. Hey, Doris, welcome. Welcome, be the person. Please share the live out, guys, and tap the screen. I'm just inviting people on the other platform, so hang out, okay? Just give me a few minutes. Please tap the screen, guys. Tap the screen and let's get more people on here. Oh, it's like they block people so they can't come on. What? That is so weird. Hmm. It's bizarre. Right. Please, guys, share the lives out. And let's get more people on here. Thank you. I appreciate it. Carrie, I'm currently eating a disassembled Amazon microwave and it really hurts, but it has lots of iron, so it's healthy. What is that? I have no idea what you're sharing with me here. Oh my goodness. What is it that you're really eating? That is funny. Hey Annie, thank you for sharing. Thank you guys. Don't forget the everyday heartbeats and please share. Share the live out. Let's get more people on here, people. Wow, that was funny. What is it that you're really eating? You're eating Amazon microwave? What? What Amazon microwave? What? I don't understand what you're eating. It's weird. I'm trying to get people on here on Facebook as well. So, all right, let's see who's here. Please tap the screen, guys. Hey, TJ. Hey, Minnie. Hey, Coach. Hey, Annie. Hey, Antonio. Welcome, guys. Hey, Vanessa. Please share the live out, guys. Let's get more people on here. Hey, Sabrina. Thank you, guys. Hey, Alta. Welcome. Hey, Sammy, welcome. Mr. Take, welcome. Alexis, welcome. All right, let's see who's here. Hey, Rose. Thank you for sharing it. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hey, hi, Sophia. Um, hey, Crystal. Welcome, guys. So, I don't know about you guys, but it seems to me that the last, I should say, a few months, our weather pattern's been kind of interesting in the West. I'm not sure about the rest of the earth. I know there's a lot of different stuff going on everywhere because there's manipulation of the weather, which they've been doing forever. Okay, this is not new. We have been experiencing um, fake weather, right? Geoengineered weather has been used to create chaos all over the earth. And the reason they do this is because they want to keep us busy with stuff that is not important, really, because bad weather just means you have to go to the store and get all kinds of things and, you know, um, just be prepared, right? If you lose power or if you, need to use your generator or, food would go bad, whatever, all this stuff, right? So this is the kind of stuff they do to keep us busy, right? Also, the reason is also because there's a lot of truth coming out, and they don't want you to focus on the truth. They want you to focus on things that keep you busy, right? They keep things that are going to keep you too occupied to worry about what is going on out there, right? So this is what this is all about. Hey, Zafar, welcome. Um, what we have noticed in the West is that they try to make this happen over the weekends. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but usually Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, right? There's severe weather predicted. At least the last few weeks, this has been happening every weekend. During the week, you have sun, the weather's pretty decent. As soon as we come towards the weekend, they are predicting severe weather. Like, I mean, it's laughable. The reason I'm laughing is because this severe weather, I've been collapsing. Okay, and you guys, I've said this to you guys, that you have the ability, you have the power as light beings to collapse this stuff. Okay, just the way they will have us collectively manifesting the bullshit, right? Because they do that. They predict, oh, this is going to happen, bad things are happening, this, that, blah, blah. And we collectively will put energy to the shit, and make it happen. Same way, this weather that they're predicting or they want to happen, right? We have the power to collapse that. Okay, we have collectively, with our thoughts, the ability to weaken it, to disperse it, to make it not happen at all. We have this ability. So I want you to guys, please do that. Okay? You know that in the West, in the US, uh, Raymond, hey, I don't know if you're skinny and cool, but if you are, okay. I look tired. Oh, okay, good, because I need a vacation. I look tired. Somebody's worried about how I look. Oh, don't worry about how I look. Thank you. I have no idea who that is. Anyway, so the idea here is that just the way they were focusing on the Epstein files coming out, and they don't want that to be exposed, right? But they have been exposed, they have been brought out so that the truth comes out. This is the kind of bullshit they pull. They pull these distractions, they give us things to focus on so that you don't focus on the real issue, the real problems, right? This is what has been happening. Okay, so every weekend they're predicted horrible weather, really horrible, horrible weather, um, in the U.S. and not just one part of U.S., the entire country. We have had some kind of, you know, terrible stuff that they're predicting. Oh, severe cold, like we have never had this kind of cold before, and severe, snowstorms and severe wind and severe like this, all kind of stuff, right? All of it I collapse, guys. You have the ability, like I said, to do it. Please do that. Okay, it is so important that we all focus on creating the exact same thing because we don't want the chaos. We don't want to have to worry about plowing and icy roads and having to not have power and all this bullshit, right? This is what the goal is. The goal is for them to keep us busy, to keep us to exist, right? It's survival mode, isn't it? So you want to make sure that we don't focus on our making that manifest. I'll tell you, I have and this is something that my kid and I both noticed, is that they predict extreme cold. And when I look at the meter in my car to see how cold it is, it'll say something like 20 degrees, right? But outside it feels like 35, 40 degrees, okay? That much warmer. So I know that they're BSing the temperatures, and they're making them not what they really are, because they want us to think that that it's so cold, don't go outside, right? It's so cold, be careful, whatever. It's just, it's nonsense, right? Somebody's talking in my life. What? Maybe go out and come back in. Leave the live and come back, because sometimes TikTok it glitches. So when it glitches, sometimes you'll hear two people's lives on at the same time. So go out, Rose, and then come back, and then let me know if it still does the same. Okay? Oh, thank you, my necklace. Thank you so much. Yeah, I love it too. It's really pretty. Hey, Hey, Debbie. Let's see who else joined. Hey, Betty. Asta, welcome. Yasmin, welcome. Hey, Victoria. Hey, Sandy. Welcome, guys. La Cabra, welcome. Hey, Tito, welcome. Danielle, welcome. Hey, Patty. Hey, favorite mom, welcome. Hey, Linda. Hey, Liz. Hey, Ken, welcome. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. Please tap the screen. Let's get this live out. Share it with others, please. See, our focus should be on creating the earth we want. Our focus should completely be on completely creating what is good for us as all of creation, right? All the nonsense that they're trying to do, to create fear, to make people stay low vibrational, to make people worry and stress, right? This stuff, this is the last thing you want to be focusing on. I've seen this where people are, I'm in a bunch of groups on Facebook, and they talk about how people are sick, and there's some stuff going around, whatever. Remember, this is bullshit they're gonna keep pulling, right, on us. Every winter, people are bound to get, you know, out of balance health wise, because you have to remember that the idea is to keep your immune system strong, right? They gave us this. Look, 2019, 2020 should have woken you up enough to know that you need to keep your immune system strong, okay? The only way that you can do that is if you're eating healthy foods, if you're staying away from crap that has poisons in it. And this stuff is they're doing this everywhere, okay? I'm telling you, I traveled to a bunch of places last year and the year before, and everywhere they had stuff they sell at Walmart and they sell here in the US. Same foods were over there. And I'm talking about across the world. I'm talking about places like India and Dubai, right? And Aruba. Look, you have to understand, these places are tropical places that can make and grow their own food. Okay, even Dubai is so damn rich, right? Everybody over there lives for free. You understand? They don't pay for anything. They're paid to live on this planet. Okay, so these people can afford to eat healthy food. But imagine they have in their grocery stores the same bioengineered bullshit foods that we have here in the US. Think about it. All the stuff that we are avoiding here have gone all the way to the other end of the world. And I also found it in Iceland. Iceland, in their grocery store, they had what they sell here at Walmart. Think. The same foods they sell in Walmart, they had in Iceland. So, can you imagine how badly they're like sending out this horrible stuff everywhere so people can stay, you know, out of balance health wise? Hey, Spirit, welcome. It's good to see you too. I'm glad you're here. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for being here. Hey, Maricela, welcome. Hey, Caitlin. So, this is their goal is always to keep us busy with, stress, with worry, with fear, right? With illnesses, with imbalance. Like survival mode, guys, is completely created to keep you in survival mode. Our goal is to step out of those timelines. You don't want to be in a timeline like that, right? Because this, you can literally jump timelines. You know that you can create your own timeline if you want, right? So you want to make sure that you're always thinking positive. Cancel, delete every negative thought that's fed to you through mind control and programming. All right? Anytime you get a negative thought, I cancel, delete this thought. You're living in the now. Change the thought in the now to be a positive thought. People want things to happen for them that are positive, yet they are wallowing in negativity all day long, right? And you're a light worker, and if you're getting attacked, right, in some way or the other, right, sometimes it's severe enough that it takes me more than one healing, okay? And I have people I've healed in the past, it's taken me a few months to get rid of the crap that they're holding within their bodies. Okay, that's keeping on attaching. That will leave and then come back, leave and come back. Sometimes it is severe because it's a program that's implanted in the head or in the body or in the brain or something like that, right? In that case, yeah, it's frustrating, it's hard. Okay, it's really hard when you're being controlled by someone else. Your body's being controlled by someone else. Your thoughts are completely controlled by someone else. You don't have the ability to think because your head is always constantly hearing things, okay? Hearing noises, hearing sounds, hearing screams, all kinds of bullshit, right? This stuff is a programming that they put in your brain through technologies that makes it hard for you, right, to function on an everyday basis. Now, when I'm healing you guys, I go in and I remove this stuff, okay? Sometimes it only takes one healing and it's gone. Other times, depending on how bad it is, it might take a few healings. It might take a few weeks or maybe a couple months, sometimes longer, depending on what it is. Okay, it does work though. I can get rid of this stuff. But what happens is this, guys. You have to completely own your body, own your vessel. Do you understand? It's important that you take charge of you and your body. Your soul is within the vessel, right? If somebody is controlling it, you have no way of functioning the way you want to function. You're just like going day from day, going day from day to day, just trying to make it through the day, right? So when I heal you guys, right, and I say to you that you need to visualize yourself as golden love light, okay? See yourself as light, unconditional golden, not white light, okay? Golden love light. You have to see, and I've put on my TikTok, and I think also on Facebook and YouTube, I have videos of a golden being. You need to see yourself like that. That's how you are. That's literally what you look like, okay? As a soul, that's what you are. The soul goes within the body, and your soul is so big, okay? This is why we have what we call a toroidal field. Because your soul exists outside of the physical form. All right? This is why the 6 feet, you have like a radius around you, about 6 feet. This is your toroidal field, which is what your entire being is. And once, if you get it attacked, this toroidal field also gets, it's like not only your physical form, but also your etheric form, your spiritual form also gets cracks, and this is what needs to be healed, right? So the idea for us is to, like I've said, see yourself in a golden light, golden bubble at all times that is completely covered in a mirror or invisibility cloak. The mirror is why. Titanium inside, mirror outside, because when you're like that, whoever is coming at you, spiritually attacking you or whatever, can see themselves. They can't see you. You understand? Because you're enclosed in that bubble, right? This is cloaking. And you have to do that. You have to do that because it will allow you to stay protected at all times. At the same time, remember, this is all what is used for creation. This thought, imagination, sound. That's creation. Okay? Thought, imagination, and sound. Hey, Lynn, welcome. Do you get what I'm saying? So if you can have control over this is why they have mind control programming. Do you understand? Because this is where you have the ability to change your now, change your reality in the now. So when I say to you, okay, I've healed you, now yeah, maybe it's not completely healed, but you're still feeling, it's not gone. The idea is to not think that, oh, it's still here, it's not gone. The idea is to think that, you know what, I'm sovereign, which is the biggest thing. Remember, the idea of us being here is sovereignty and freedom. Do you get it? This is why we are here, right? To take back our power, to become sovereign, to stop and step out of the slave system which they have created. So your job is to make sure that, one, you are seeing yourself as the golden being that you are, unconditional love. Hey, Julie, thank you. Another is that your thought process is staying positive at all times. This is why cancel, delete in the now. Cancel, delete, replace with a positive thought. Remember, this is being done to everybody on this planet until you wake up and you take control over this. Okay? Because don't we have it? Isn't it a monkey mind? Until you start calming, until you sit still and quiet and you ask your mind to be quiet, right? Until you do that, what is it? It's a monkey mind, right? It's monkey mind. It's gonna keep saying things to you, talking, thinking, singing, right? Everything happens in that mind. So, what is the goal? How do you know it's your thought and not being fed to you? How do you know they didn't turn the tape recorder on in your mind? Because it's literally that. Do you get it? So, if you have the ability to come to a space where you are able to calm your mind, completely quiet it, right? Now you're able to have your own thoughts, and you're also able to differentiate what is yours from what is being fed to you. And this is what's the biggest thing with humanity. This is why so many will not see things the way they are, because they just follow whatever is being told, whatever they're advertised, whatever they're being indoctrinated into, whatever they have learned from generations and generations, right? These are belief systems, these are traditions, these are cultural things, these are religions, you name it. The whole bloody thing is, all of them are systems created to keep us low vibrational, keep us in a fear state, keep us in a controlled environment, controlled state. Right? That's right, son. So the goal for us is, first is to work on yourself. Okay, first is to claim yourself back, the creator that you are. You have to claim that version of you first. You have to become that first, right? You have to own who you are. You have to become sovereign. Know that you are a part of a creator that is sovereign. Thank you, Julie. Thank you so much. So, the idea of getting control over your mind, the idea of getting control over the vessel, which is your body, right? This is what this is. So many light beings I have come across that still channel messages, that still look outside of themselves for someone to guide them, that still pray to gods that they have never seen, or pray to someone, right? The thing is this: Why? Why have we been taught to look outside of ourselves for help? Why? Because it's the only way we can be controlled. You get it? If you could do everything on your own, which you were doing until the inversion, we were doing it all by ourselves, right? We knew how to grow food. We knew how to, take care of our own needs and wants, the necessities, and other things as well, right? Because we are creators, we are crafters, we are artists, we are builders, we are singers, we are dancers, we are creative beings. All of us have some sort of a talent or gift or gifts. Some have multiple gifts, right? Everyone does. There's nobody who can say, "Oh, I have nothing I can do. I have nothing that I know." It's not possible because every one of you is a part of creator, and creator is creator. Creator, the word itself, source of all creation. You. Do you get it? There's no possible way that you don't know something. You might not be good at creating with your hands, but your head, you can create through your head, you can create through your eyes, you can create. What I mean by that is you might be great at mathematics, you might be great at science, you might be great at physics, you might be great at visualization, right? You might be great at um, creating something through your thought, right? There's so many different things that you can do as a creative being. And why is that? Why is this, abilities that we have, right, that have been removed from us in a way or in a sense and put in factories, right? Factories, so that they can manufacture things on a big scale, right? Intentionally done, intentionally given to us as, oh, you have brand names, it gives you a lifestyle, a status, right? It makes you feel you are something or someone, right? All of this stuff has uh, been used as excuses to convince us that those gifts, those talents that we had um, as beings and were taken from us and put in factories, convincing those people who had these gifts that, oh, if you come and you do this in a factory setting, your product will get made, in the thousands, and you'll be able to sell it in the thousands, and we'll cut you a profit from whatever we make, we'll give you a commission, whatever it was. They convinced people, they literally convinced people to give up their crafts and their art and their abilities and their talents and their gifts and put them in factories. And this created what? The disconnect from us and our gifts, right? And sucked us into a system, a slave system of 9 to 5, right? Hi, thank you for joining from Japan. Thank you. I appreciate you being here. So the idea is what? The idea is to return back to being that creative being. When you wake up and your gifts wake up, right? And you tend to remember things that you were not aware of before, or things start feeling like that you're comfortable around, or that feel like it comes naturally to you, right? Your gifts, people are like, oh, my gifts are awake. What is your gift? What is your gift that's awake? What is it you've remembered? That you are a healer, that you work great with children, that you are amazing with around animals, that animals come to you without you doing anything. They're comfortable with your energy, that you're able to now create art like you've never done before, that now you can sit and write a book, you can write poetry, you can write, stories, you can create crafts of all kinds, furniture, you can build a home, you can do all kinds of things. This is remembering because you always had this. It never went away. It has never gone anywhere. It's just that it was taken away because everyone is taught what? That you have to go to school. That the only thing that is important on this planet is that you go to school, you get taught stuff, and then you go and work for a factory or you go work for a corporation, right? You go work for someone, or you become an entrepreneur. If you become an entrepreneur and you have your own business, great, and you're successful, that's amazing. But majority of the population, majority of the people are working under someone. They're working for a corporation of some sort that is making the money at the expense of the employees' well-being and their freedom. You see what I'm saying? Because that 9 to 5 takes away your freedom. You're working 9 to 5, 5 days a week. Some people work 7 days a week, right? Isn't that how it is? And some people work 2 jobs, some people work 3 jobs. Like, it's crazy. Depending on your expenses, you have to make sure you're making enough not only to pay the bills, but to have some sort of a life. So imagine you doctrinated from the age of 3 or 4 when you went to school to the age of 20, 22, or 25, depending on. Yeah, Salman, give me a few minutes, okay? I'll bring you up. Depending on what you decide to go in, what career field, right? So all of those years you've been in a box called school where you got taught to be what they want you to be, a slave to their world, their systems. They didn't teach you how to be a craftsperson, or be creative, or learn how to manage your finances, how to invest in properties or land, how to do things that would have benefited you. They taught you how to go and work in their corporations, and everything is under corporations. Okay, even if it's small, they're not that big, or it's franchises or whatever, everything ends up being at a corporate level. Now imagine you work from the age of 20, 25. When you get out of school, the first thing everyone's expecting is what? You get a job. If you don't get a job, you're wasting time, you're wasting away. Isn't that how it is? You're not amounting to anything, because that's what makes you a smart kid. It makes you responsible, right? It makes you worth being part of the community. Okay, so now from that age, 20, 25 to like 40, 65, you're working the 9 to 5. If you're lucky, it's just one job, 5 days a week. If you're not, you're working 2 jobs, 3 jobs, whatever. So in that 40, 45 years that you worked, you got 1 month of vacation time every year. Every year, 1 month. If you're lucky. Some people get 3 weeks, right? If you got lucky, you got 40 to 45 months of vacation time. That is less than 4 years of your life that you were able to do what you wanted with. Imagine you lived 65 years and you had less than 4 years to go enjoy time with your family, go on vacations, unwind, relax, rest, whatever. Do you understand the trap? This is the trap you have to step out of. This is the thing you need to get away from. People say, how? Right? A lot of people say, how do I get out of it? How do I get out of this? Right? Figure out what you're good at. Look, 2020 and 21, right? Literally push people out of jobs. They were forcing you to do the jab. If you didn't do the GBGB, you were told you can't work anymore, right? A lot of people were like literally pushed in the corner. You have to leave. You have to get out of this. You have to do this. You have to do this. You don't want to do it. You have to leave, lose your job. Remember, there's always something you can do, and there are many things, especially now with social media and the amount of stuff you're able to expose online. There are many different things. Somebody had asked me a few years ago, they were like, what can I do? You know, a lot of mothers, especially when they have children and they have to pay bills and feed the children and all of this stuff. And I suggested, I'm like, listen, learn a craft. Okay, I tell people, if you have children, put them in a vocational school, teach them a craft. Don't let them go work the corporate world. Let them become their own entrepreneurs. Let them become their own boss, because that's how we were. Okay, people in the olden days or way back, you were a carpenter, you were a metal worker, you were a leather worker, you know, you did plumbing, some people did construction, some people did sewing, cooking, cleaning, whatever. Everyone had some sort of a talent or gift or something they were good at, organizing, right? These are all the things you can go back to. And there's a whole long list, guys. I had posted this a few years on, I think it was Facebook or group or somewhere. I'll make the list. If I can find it, I'll find it. But if I can't, I'll make a list. But there's so many things. Teach children. Okay, if you're good at art, teach them art. If you're good at jewelry making, teach them that. If you're good at cooking, do cooking classes or cook and sell the food. Get a small cart. I'm telling you, it doesn't take much to do these things. The thing is to make the shift, to make that change. A lot of people fear this stuff, right? Yeah, it's not a big thing all at once. But guess what? You have to figure out, right? If tomorrow, I've said this so many times in my lives, if tomorrow the governments disappeared, if there were no governments anywhere and you had to take care of your family, could you do it? Are you able to do that? That's what's important. Because necessities of a human are how many? Think, how many necessities of a human? Food, water, clothing, shelter, electricity, we can do with fire, right? What else? Maybe a few other things. All right? Everything else is bullshit, commercial nonsense that they're selling us in the name of what? Brand names and this fashion, that status. These people who are selling it to us, they wear bullshit. They don't even buy their own crap, right? Because they know they're selling you so they can live the life they want. Sovereignty and freedom does not cost a lot of money. I promise you, if you do it right, it really does not cost a lot of money. It really is a change in your lifestyle. What is it that is important to you? What really is important to you? Look around your house, okay? Look around your lifestyle. Look at the way you do your things. What is important? They're teaching you to have a lifestyle, the American dream, the American dream home, which comes with a damn big mortgage, right? And a lot of bills, expensive bills, right? And the 9 to 5 is the only reason you have to do 9 to 5. Because how are you going to pay that damn mortgage? How are you going to pay those bills? And yes, everybody wants a lifestyle, but trust me, go to countries in other parts of the world, go to countries and see they have a lot less and they are happier, in the sense that they understand unity. They understand the value of people, the value of family. They live in communities. Right now, we live in a community, right? Hardly anybody knows anybody. We don't even see our neighbors. Our neighbors I see maybe summertime they'll come out. I'll see them maybe once or here and there, like very very rarely, right? That's what they've done to us. Division, the nuclear family they call it. What the fuck is that? Remember, humans are social beings. You cannot live like this. Why do you think people feel they're alone? Why do you think people are depressed? Because they've taught us this is okay to break the village. Right? We need a village. Isn't that what they say? You need a village to bring children up. You need a village to have, what we need to be able to make it. Literally, you need a village. And your village has become something very, very, very hard. Okay? Because that village that you had, which was your family, your grandparents, your parents, aunts and uncles, your cousins, your family, your children, their children, was a village. Everybody watched out for each other's children, everybody watched out for each other, did things in harmony and balance, taught the kids learn to be each other's brothers and sisters, and don't see, oh, my far away cousin and my second, third cousin, and like this shit that we hear now, right? You did need a babysitter. Everybody shared the jobs, so the cooking was done, the cleaning was done. There was always somebody watching out. There was guidance. People could do things at their pace, at their time. Now, guess what happens? You live in a nuclear family, you pay for a babysitter, right? You have to pay. When you go to work, who's going to watch your kids? Unless you have parents living with you, you have to send them somewhere or have somebody come to your house. You're paying the village, you're paying for a babysitter, you're paying for a cleaning lady, right? You're paying for Ubering. That's your village. You're now paying for the village to happen for you. The village that was there for free, you're not paying for. It's an expensive damn village, I'm telling you. When you do it the way it's being taught to us, right? The loneliness, all that. This stuff, you pay for a psychiatrist, you pay for a therapist, you pay for this, you pay for that. By the time you're done, it's a damn expensive village that you're having to do a 9 to 5, maybe one job, maybe two jobs, so you can afford this bullshit. Disconnection, remember, division is how they can control and rule us. United, you cannot be broken up and you cannot be fought with, because you stay stronger when united. And they are dividing, and this division needs to end. Do you see? People are still, like, go on people's lives, they're still talking about, oh, our blood, these people were here first, we were here first, these are not the right people, those are not the right people. Dude, you're on the same earth. You're on the same freaking earth. Where do you think they're going to go? What are you going to do? They're not your blood. So what are you going to do with them? What are you trying to create? This is our earth, right? I hear this all the time. I go to people's lives and I've heard this is one that really gets to me. Okay? So the Moors were here in the US first, okay? And the Africans somehow came from Africa. The way it's been presented is that they came as slaves and whatever. Okay. Then there's other stories of how they came and they were trying to civilize and whatever. Okay. Now, listen. They were indigenous people all over the earth. All over the earth. Okay? That melanated color, the dark skin, if you do your research, you will see every part of earth has and had indigenous people. That means everybody had a dark skin. Okay? The mix of the Aryan, European Aryan blood created the light skin, right? But indigenous people were all dark. Everybody on this earth at one point was dark, right? Doesn't matter who they were, Moors, Tartarians, whatever, whatever. It doesn't matter. The mixing happened. You can't eliminate that. What are you going to do? Send them somewhere else? Where are we going? Where are we going? There's no logic to the way they think. Like, oh, okay, we have to stick to our blood. We have to only do, don't mix the blood. Don't do this. What? What are you thinking? Like, what are they thinking? I don't even get it. What is the end game? What is the end goal here? They've already divided us. They're ruling us. They're controlling us. They're making sure we fight each other. They're making sure we kill each other. They're making sure of all kinds of things. So we don't come back together in a unity and oneness. So what is the end goal when you are, as a light being, awake, doing the same bullshit? What are we going to achieve here? How can you unite as oneness? How can you become unity consciousness? How can you experience oneness with all of creation when you can't do it with your own humans? Yes, Betty. Where's the popcorn? In the corner there's a, oh, is it on the counter there? Look. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? Look at animals, look at birds, look at trees, look at all the other creation. Do you realize that humans, or we, whoever we were to begin with, were the protectors of this creation? Do we realize this? That the ones who were supposed to protect have been killing them, eating them, abusing them, whatever you can call it. And on top of that, we are doing the same to our own, and because we can't unite, others can do the same to us. Plus, the protectors of ours, human protectors. Who are the human protectors? Who's supposed to protect humans? Who's supposed to protect humans? Please, if anybody wants to write. Who's supposed to protect humans? Please don't write gods. Thank you, Guru Ma. Thank you so much. Who's supposed to protect humans? Who do you think was created to protect the creation of the mother? Because we are all creation of the mother. Okay? Right? Who is it? The mother is the creator, right? I've said this how many times? This is not hard to get. Mother is the creator, the nurturer, the one who is, keeping the family together, the one who creates the family and makes sure that there is a continuation of humanity. Who's the protector? The father. The protector of humanity, of all of the mothers and the children that become the men of the future. Men are the protectors and the providers of humanity and all of creation. What did they do to our men? They turned them into predators. Who are we fearing? Who do we fear as women and children? Who are we fearing? Our own men. They were turned into predators. Imagine they removed the protector from the family so that the mothers and the children would be easy access. Do you realize, instead of fighting each other, instead of, finding things to keep continuously separate and divide us, can we really get on track? Can we really see what is going on and realize that humanity is a one race. It doesn't matter your color or your where you coming from or who you believe in or what your traditions are, your culture. It doesn't matter. We should all want the same thing. We should all want to be sovereign and free. We should all want to be in a state of joy and happiness, be kind and compassionate. There's no unity and oneness unless we do the same thing and want the same thing. Only one timeline has to exist, guys. If you're thinking multiple timelines, even as a light being, if you are awake and you're thinking, oh, possibility of an apocalypse, a possibility of disasters, possibility, you're not awake. You're not awake because you realize multiple timelines are for those who want to create chaos. You only need one timeline, and the one timeline has to be the same for all light beings. And yes, light beings want that, but they don't focus on it. Energy creates your reality. Remember, putting energy to the thought of whatever it is that you're putting the thought of, that is going to become your reality, your timeline in the now. This is why when I began this live, I told you guys, collapse the bullshit. Whether they keep predicting in the West, I don't know how it is in the rest of the world, but in the United States, they have been predicting every freaking weekend. They plan the weekend because the weekend is when you're home. Weekend is people are at home. They're with their family. They have time to think. They have time to, think about other things. Right? Question things. They don't want you to question anything. They want you so busy over the weekend plowing, worrying about this, worrying about that. Right? So that what happens? They can do their bullshit, isn't it? They can continuously keep us in this chaotic state. Hold on 1 second. They want me to. Here we go. The idea for us is to see how simple this is. You know you're a creator being. You know that you create in the now. You know that your thought, imagination, and words create. Right? Then what is so hard? And the biggest thing is that we are the creators. This is why they fear us so much. This is why they keep us dumbed down. This is why they keep controlling our mind, because we are the creators of our timelines and reality for us and them. And they have us manifest the bullshit more than the good stuff. You know how it is? It's like, you know how sometimes you get into everybody's experienced this at some point, where you get into this poor me state. Poor me, this is happening to me. Poor me, I'm sick. Poor me, nothing works out for me. Poor me. Do you understand? This poor me state. They want us to stay in that state of mind. Poor me. Nothing goes right for me. Poor me. This is the way they want humanity to exist. Survival mode. Fight and flight. It's either you're fighting through your life or you're trying to run away from problems through addictions or whatever the heck it is, or you're just surviving, just coming, day comes goes, right? We are meant to thrive. What is thriving? Thriving means it's like growing a plant, and it's growing without any limit. You think the plant knows how far the sky is? You think the tree knows how far it is? That it decides, okay, I'm going to just stop here now because dang, I might touch it. No. It lives forever for this reason, because it just keeps doing its thing. Infinite possibilities. We are creators. There is no limit to who we are. Exactly. Expansion of consciousness can only happen if your thought is in alignment with that. So you as a conscious being, that is limited on this earth plane because of all the bullshit doctrination and everything that they've created, all the systems. Once you break out of that as a light being awake, you have to now understand expansion of your consciousness as creator source that you are. There is no separation if you are creator source. Imagine how powerful you are. If your creator source came and stood in front of you, how would you revere them? How would you feel? Think. The unconditional love that you might experience at that moment, right? That's who you are. Are you seeing yourself like that? Are you feeling it? Every time you look in the mirror, do you realize that's who you are? Because in the 9 billion people on this planet, there's only one you. There's only one you. Dang, think. Only one? You know how you have people make crafts, right? And they say it's a one of a kind. So it costs $50,000 because it's a one of a kind, unique piece, yes. Huh? And you go pay that 50,000 because damn, it's a one of a kind. Do you realize that's you? Do you realize? It's not hard to imagine. It's not hard to understand. It's not hard. I'm gonna get a couple people up here. Somebody else was asking to come on. I'm not sure who it was. Hang on. Hey Salman. Let me see who was. Okay, if you're still here, request to join. I'm not sure who it was.
Star beings?
Yeah, star beings. That's who it was. But I don't see them here. Okay, if you're still here, star beings, just request to join, okay? Yes, welcome. You want to share something or you have a question?
Yeah, Adi Shakti, Om Nam Shivaya.
I don't follow the stuff, so
we have to realize
please.
that as men, we are accessing womanhood. As women, we are accessing manhood. We have inside of us our fathers, our grandfathers, our mothers, our grandmothers. We are human.
So it's a balance of both that comes from the Divine Mother's energy. So both the male and the female come from Shakti, and Shakti is energy in the divine feminine form. This is why the mother is the one who is the birthing. She is the one who carries the child. She has the womb, which is the home of creation. And she is the one who creates both the man and the woman. So the balance is because she is the one who has the balance. So when a man is created, the Y chromosome is the feminine has the X chromosome. She holds the mitochondria for the creation. Now the man, the Y chromosome, the X, there was a part removed from it to create the Y chromosome. So that's why the man have the XY chromosomes, and this is why a male is created. But the idea is this: when the masculine being awakens, the thing that happens is that he gets balance to his divine feminine aspect, which was disconnected with the inversion of the matrix, which is the patriarchy. So basically, once you come into that balance, now you understand the creator mother, you understand your position as the protector of her creation. So you are now seeing the mother meet your child, your wife, your mother, your sister. You're seeing them in that aspect of the mother. Doesn't matter the age, or doesn't matter who they are, because the woman or the child, feminine child, is coming in with the womb of creation from three generations. This is why they say the home of creation, which is the womb, just like Mother Earth. She is the womb that creates. This is why we have this magnificent creation on her. So, recognizing this is what was lost with the inversion to patriarchy. The woman was removed from the picture. This is why the Trinity only has man in it. But you cannot have any creation with just man. There is no possibility of that happening. So this is what this is. But yes, when the divine masculine aligns
Yeah.
with the divine feminine, he rebalance himself fully. At that point, he understands himself as the divine masculine, and that takes a lot of work. And it's good. I have met a few, and it's amazing to see man actually, doing what needs to be done. Because as a protector, that's what you are here to do, literally protect all of creation, not just women and children and humans, but all of creation. This is why you were created to begin with.
Well, and I think that a big part of unlocking your protective capacity as a man is getting in touch with the woman inside, because
Correct. Yeah, you
um,
have to. That's because
the
that's where your
woman
power
has all
is.
this connection, all this intuition, all this. See, women are actually, unfortunately, in our world, women are better protectors,
Yes, we are leaders and protectors,
especially of
but
children.
yeah, of children, because a mother would kill to protect her child, right? So would the father. But the way it's been with a lot of single mothers and children, we don't have a choice. Plus, a mother will not desert her children. It's easier for men to go and be with someone else. For women who have children, they don't do that. Very rarely do you see a woman leave the children and let them, duke it out. Mostly is the man walk away, and this is statistics. It's not even like, but the reality is that we don't have a choice. We really don't, and we don't have. The choice is that we don't have the heart to let our children just whatever, like, oh, leave it out, whatever, or make do with. We can't do that. It's not in us. We're not made that way. So we have, remember, the masculine born from the mother, the divine feminine has both of it, complete balanced. This is why we are better leaders and protectors. But at the same time, we can't do it all. This is why the father was created, so that he can help with mother's creation. This is the entire thing. You understand? This is what the creation is. So this is where the
Yeah,
problem is.
in the indigenous cultures, the men would war with each other or they would hunt.
Exactly. Yeah, provide and protect.
But it was
That's
all to protect the women and the
exactly,
children.
exactly. And so that the women could stay home, bring up children, cook, clean, whatever that they had to do, and the man did their part. And this is exactly how it's meant to be, and should have stayed. But the way it's been the last many thousands of years, I should say, because this is not new. Um, at least 26,000 years that I'm aware of. But it's like it was an intentional um, inversion so that they could access the mother and the children and be able to,
Yeah,
do whatever they do. And so,
that's the.
yeah.
So that inversion is directly with the male. Like,
Yeah, it is. It is
okay,
an attack on the man. So the attack is on the entire family because that's what they did. But the attack, if you look, and I say this in lives, they we can sit and blame men, we can sit and blame women, but it's not about blame. What it is about is recognizing that they literally imagine imagine a land where everybody is sainted. Okay, imagine somebody horrible coming onto that land, attacking everyone. So now you're fighting for your women and children, but you can't fight them because they're more powerful than you, right? You're sainted beings, you welcome them thinking they're good people, right? Columbus and America. I'm just using that as an example. Now, Columbus comes, brings assholes, attack the indigenous, take over the land, unaliving everybody here, right? Same scenario. In this case, the men were attacked and they had to let go of their women and children. Do you see? Now, on top of that, they get introduced to addictions, smoking, drugs, drinking, you name it, pornography, whatever. You name it, they get, all of it. Women will do all of this, but they'll get away from it faster than men can because it becomes like entertainment. It's also sports, entertainment industry, movies, music, you name it. Everything is designed on this planet to suck the family apart from each other. They break it up, and they break it up from the inside. And now they've introduced technology, right? There's always something they're bringing into our lives that supposedly makes our life better, conveniently making it easier, at the same time disconnecting us from our own, breaking the village, like I said earlier. This is what this is.
I recently learned that there are 12 or even 13 mental sense perceptions, which means that sensationalism is a lie.
Mm-hmm.
Most of our experience is mental, and only a small part of it is our physical senses, such as eating food, having sex,
Yes.
unaliving people, whatever.
Look, think of it like this, right? A lot of us, when we start waking up, we start fasting, we start eating less, we start changing our lifestyle, we start become celibate, we start doing things. Why? Because energetically we know that we have to conserve that energetic force. We have to harness a creative force, right? We were never meant to do these things. We were never meant to eat food the way they have introduced it to us. We were never meant to have sex every single day. Okay? We were never meant to do these things. But these are things presented to us as a part of life. Right? This is how you need to live. No, you don't. Because you can't get to a place of breatharian. If you're a breatharian, you're doing nothing, you're living on air, right? Ether was removed from the periodic table because they know the ether is all we need. Everything is created through the ether, right? This is what it is. So this idea that we can only exist if we are eating, we are resting, we are procreating. Yes, we have to procreate to continue our civilization, but in the same process, sex is only needed for that. You understand? It was never needed for anything else. Just doing stuff, creating the mess they've created. You see, it's a bonding of two beings, two souls to become one, to create a third soul, to create a third being. This is this is family. They've messed it up and turned it into something so bad and so evil and so horrible that there is people get sucked into the idea that they can't live without it, right? They get addicted, they get, because of it they'll do all kinds of other things that are addictions as well. So this is what this is, and it's hard for people to hear that you're not supposed to sleep with someone every single day and have sex, that you're not supposed to be doing this stuff. They don't want to hear it because it's not normal. When you hear it, people hear this, they say, "What the hell is this? say no, that's not possible. It's not possible, right? But that's how it was. And women created alone. They didn't need a man. At one point, we did this on our own. We didn't need man. You see? So this all stuff is nonsense. But yeah, like you said.
One of my favorite things that I noticed was from the horrible cult that I grew up in, and in most Christian religions,
Yeah.
they say that men carry the seed. That's not true.
No, they
Men
don't.
carry the fertilizer.
No, they don't. Yeah, they don't.
Men don't even carry the seed; they carry the fertilizer.
Yeah. So see,
They don't like it's not.
yeah,
We don't.
because
We're not the source of creation. It isn't a patriarchy. Like
yeah,
if you look at the natural course of life, um, in our heterogeneous species, um, it would be much easier to come up with a technology to bypass men's biology than women's.
yes, of course.
If we were to do some weird technological evolution or something,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, because we women we have to we cannot we are the creators. There's no possible way to change that. But if man did, okay, let me just say it like this: there is a possibility that if all man disappeared, women would still exist and they would still be able to create. Okay, there is a way to do it, and we did it until all the mess happened. We were doing it already. So yes, the man's biology can be altered. It's possible. It's a matter of what happens, in the near future or whatever. But this this whole thing of the man having to be, part of the creation, that when 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 the climax happens and the semen goes in, the first thing the body does it fights it. The woman's body does not want it. It does not accept it because it's alien to it. Do you understand? This is literally what it is. And they say, oh, the sperm picks, like the one of the sperms will go in the egg. No, it's the egg that's gonna allow it. Otherwise it doesn't work. You see, they cannot penetrate. It's like a big fight. It's a big fight, but they don't want you to see it that way because they want you to think that this is how creation occurs. So it's there's so much to this.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it really is a fight. I think that when we realize that most of our existence and our experience is our thoughts,
Yes.
and then through our thoughts we have access to both of the forms of our humanity,
Yeah.
and then our mind can meld with our heart, and they can become one. As
Yeah.
soon as we have unity within, like you said, inner standing,
Right. Exactly.
we become like a rock in the river.
Exactly.
We become, the go with the flow
You go
actually
with the
means
flow.
be the rock in the river. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean get pulled into the current and
No, you don't.
not have anything and think that you're getting sucked away.
No, no, no. That's not what you want. That's called drowning and that's called survival mode. No, 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 no. That's the last
Going
thing
with
you
the
need.
flow, it's not like being a leaf on a branch and
That's
getting
bad.
pulled away on the wind. Going with the flow is being the tree. Going with the flow is
Yeah.
being the rock.
Exactly. Exactly. Unwavering, unmoving, right? Being able to do the right thing. I'm going to be right back. If you want to take over for a few minutes, I just need to run to the bathroom because I've been drinking my tea for the last hour. I'll be right back, okay?
Okay,
Go
yeah.
ahead, yeah. You
Okay,
can
awesome.
talk
Yeah,
to
I'll
them.
just keep going for a few minutes until you
Yeah.
get back. Um, but anyways, guys, I don't know who's listening, but I think that it's really important to take a true mark or tally or account of what is going on really, how much of my feelings are physical, how many of my sensations are mental, and notice how much more we are than our fingertips or our toes or the hair follicles on our head. And in the end, this body is just a portal, right? Like this physical condition is just a threshold to a greater mental condition. And there's no such thing as physical suffering, only mental suffering. That the physical body can be mediated by the mind. That we have the capacity to attend to and care for ourselves mentally, and this is what can heal our mind and our body simultaneously. And it's proven, there's a lot of science that shows that the creation of cancer starts in someone's behavior and speech and thought patterns. And it just so happens that disease doesn't exist. That ease exists, but dis-ease doesn't exist. Suffering doesn't actually exist either, because it is happiness in potentiality. Some small fleeting experience that's causing someone some physical or mental pain is not suffering. It is a condition of the physical and mental self. And only when we decide that it is pain, that it does exist as pain, then it becomes suffering. As soon as we attach our mental pain to our physical pain, then it becomes suffering. And there's no reason to exist like this. There's no such thing as fighting or running away. These are constructs, right? We live in a world where believing that something can be taken, or that we can take something, is the same thing. Where possession is possible, where things can be owned, and we can own things, and we can be taken possession of, or be owned. It's all the same thing. There's no reason to attach ourselves to some physical or mental condition. And as our body changes and as our mind changes, as we acknowledge these changes, letting go and accepting the unaliving of experience itself. Every new experience is an unaliving of an old one. And this is getting good at goodbyes. This is no need to say hello, because we've already done the greeting. We've already lived the acknowledgement. We're living in a continual acknowledgement. And it's the same as the goodbye. It's the same thing. The acknowledgement of what is changing is the hello and the goodbye all in one. And it's like if you could imagine yourself sprouting from the ground or branching out into leaves and flowers. These are the natural functions of our mind, that the mother is within us and lives in our thoughts. There's no reason to be chopping at the roots or deciding that part of our mental growth is toxic or poisonous and that needs removed. The only thing to do when we see something we say is noxious, something that we think shouldn't be there, is to give it a friend, which can help it integrate. It's to pick up the watering can and attend to our wrongful thoughts or wrongful feelings or wrongful actions with some rightful ones, and to supplement our suffering with our enlightenment, to let our pain live and give it its purpose, which is the passion that it truly is. Let anger be known only for its message of passionate information.
So I'm not sure what exactly uh, you were talking about, like as in, but I just heard you talk about pain and anger. I just want to say this. See, this is something that people need to realize is that if you're a sentient being, right? Generally, humans, generally, you're not gonna want to be mean or angry or aggressive or violent, right? These are negative things that we have, that we all experience in our lives. But in reality, this is not how we are. Now, I want you to think of like a child, for instance, right? And I'm going to go to a toddler, you know. I'll go to like a age where they're very, very innocent and very, playful and happy, right? See, we were never meant to experience anything that is traumatic, okay? And I've said this in other lives before. The reason I say this again and again is because this earth, what has been done on this planet to humans, is create trauma through fear, through control, through all the negative things, right? A lot of people will say, the dark balance is the light, and the yin yang, and all these different things. What I ask is this: if you as a child was abused, or at any point in your life you were abused or traumatized in any way, shape, or form, right? Or if I was to say to you, oh, here, let me, beat you and lock you up for a month or a week, even, or even 2 days, right? Put you in a state of fear and do that to you, and then bring you out, and then treat you with kindness and compassion, give you food, whatever, and, make you feel good. Are you going to forget what I had just done to you? Are you going to forget that trauma that I just created for you? Because now I'm being nice. Now that you're not experiencing that trauma anymore, is the memory of it going to go away? Are you going to forget what I had just done to you? The fear, the anger, the sadness, the sorrow, the pain, the guilt, the shame, all of it. Is it going to go away? We were never meant to experience trauma. We were never meant to experience any of those things I mentioned. Because if you experience all of those things, how is it that I ask people to stay in a high frequency, high vibration state at all times? Why is it that joy and happiness ranges at the highest level and has the highest frequency? How is it being authentic requires you to be in a state of joy and happiness and not in pain, misery, traumatic state of fear, whatever it is? You see, no one should experience trauma of any kind. If this stuff was okay, what I've just mentioned, if trauma was okay, if pain was okay, if misery was okay, abuse was okay, violence was okay, crimes were okay, then there is no need for us to be here. There is no need for us to be here, waking ourselves, waking others up, remembering who we are, becoming the kind and compassionate beings that we truly were to begin with, understanding, knowing That when you harm another, you're harming yourself because you are part of the same creator source. You are oneness. Becoming an empath and feeling the pain of others, feeling the pain that other creation, not just humanity, but all of creation is experiencing like it's happening to you. This is being an empath. And this is who we become. Isn't that who we become as a awake being? Somebody who now understands that we were never meant to harm, that we are supposed to be kind and compassionate. If the dark is this, all of this stuff, the shadow that you're trying to get rid of from your soul that has collected memory of lifetimes because you're put through the loop of reincarnation for generations and for lifetimes, for thousands and thousands of years. If you're here to remove that shadow that was intentionally created through these systems that are on this planet and have been for thousands of years, then you have to understand that only one can exist. Both cannot exist. If it's dark, then there is no light, right? If there is light, which is why we are here, because we get bombarded with light, don't we? We are supposed to anchor the light being sent our way. We are the light, we are spreading the light, right? Yeah.
Um, I have an idea. You know what? Now I don't remember since I said your name. I forgot. But
It'll come back.
what I was getting at is that darkness is light. That's how I see it.
No, it's not. Okay, let me explain it like this. Let me explain it the way I know it and remember it. And the reason I say I remember it and know it is because I don't believe it. Okay, because belief means somebody else's version of what they've been telling me for lifetimes or for this life. But knowing it from within me, stuff, whatever I share with you guys because it's woke up within me, is something I remember and is why I share it. Okay, so what I know is this: the darkness of the night and the day, the light of the day, this is different. Okay, I'm not gonna use that because that is for resting and for us to do stuff during the day, activities. At night, our body needs to rest. This is what this is. So that is the different darkness. That is normal stuff. We didn't even have this. We had one weather across the earth, and it was tropical, and it was we did have this the stuff that they've created intentionally. Through whatever technologies they're using. So, anyway, going back to what I'm saying. Good night, Bete. Love you. Yeah, I'll be up in a little bit. Um, where was I? The evil darkness is what I'm talking about. So, if I was to say someone, like I just explained to you, then I'm going to traumatize you. I'm going to grape you. I'm going to beat you. I'm going to abuse you. I'm going to make you feel worthless. I'm going to make you feel like you are nothing, right? That you don't deserve any kind of any attention, no love, no nothing, right? And then when you, after all of that stuff you've experienced, right, and now you're in a better place, I am telling you, and you can go talk to people who have experienced this kind of stuff. I was one of them myself as a child and growing up. I, there is no way for you to forget that. One, you can try and forgive the person, you can disconnect, you have to disconnect from them, and I teach this uh, how to do shadow work, so you can actually cut those cords and ties you have with them. You have to null and void the contracts you've done with them over lifetimes or whatever it is that you did, right? You have to get rid of all of the stuff that has connection to them. Okay, so you wouldn't have to do this shadow work if the dark was Light and dark is not the same thing, especially when the dark is as evil as it is. Okay, and only somebody who's
But
experienced something that bad
hear me out.
can tell
Hear
you.
me out, please. Thank you, Pedal Source. Please hear me out. I have a proposition. I believe that the dark is the light because I am the dark and I am the light.
Okay, that's what people
And
usually
everybody
believe.
can agree that because I'm a male, I have access to the dark. In this reality, in this timeline, as a male, I have ultimate access to the dark.
So tell me
And
this. Now that you just said that, right?
because I reach deeply, let me give you some context of
Okay,
my
go ahead.
I'm writing my autobiography. I am half sibling. I have 50 siblings, all half sibling to me.
Wow.
So if you want to understand
Ooh,
humanism,
hoo, hoo.
Google fundamentalist Mormonism. This is the church I grew up in.
Oh, you come from
It is
Mormon. Okay.
communism with a fascist leader.
Oh yeah, I know
Because
what
that
you're
is
talking
the
about.
only way communism can exist.
Right.
There has to be one fascist who creates the communist empire.
Yeah.
That is what it means. It's called a cult of personality. And on my living room wall, as I was growing up, were many cults of personality, 4 to 5 different individuals leading the organization. And only their words were
Yeah.
godly. Only
Right.
their
Right.
patriarchal
Yeah.
words
Right. Because they.
were considered divine. And
Right.
when I inverted it, when I flipped the flip, an inversion of an inversion is progression. And a polarity of a polarity is natural life. When you take the upside down and you upside down it, you're right side up.
Yeah, but that still doesn't.
This is the truth.
Yeah, but that still
This
doesn't
is the truth.
justify the darkness to me.
I actually slept at the foot of my mother's bed, who had 14 children, including me, who was number 6.
Yeah.
I was the only one whose father sprinkled the nitrates for my growth. I was the only plant that grew in this garden, which was half sibling to the garden. And that is why I identify with a term I call fringe practitioner. And all of you in this world who are living within a framework of practice which is tyrannical and painful and oppressive, know that on the fringe of this practice is the truth. That evil is not all evil because Shakti De, because the mother lives in us. And we will never actually disconnect. We can disassociate, we can have DID, we can have multiple personalities, but deeply within us is a mother. There is no disconnection from the mother.
Right, but are you
There's
saying?
no unearthen being. There's no such thing
So
as an unearthen being on the earth.
no, there isn't because we are all earthlings. But what I'm trying, okay, so I want to ask you this. So are you telling me that that mother is the evil? Is that what you're saying, or is that the darkness you're speaking of?
I'm telling you that a mother who is inhabited by a toxic patriarchy takes 12 points evil and 5 points mother. So she has living in her a necromancy of her ancestor of evil. And this is what I grew up in. She actually tried to embody the evil of her own father, which is my grandfather. And when she did so, she cut down like Kali with the many heads. She cut down the community upon her belt. and she captivated the evil upon her waist, which was the waste of civilization. She brought in the media. She brought in the truth. She actually investigated my community with the age of information. She actually unalived the evil, so that she had more evil hanging from her belt than she had inside of her, and that ignited her heart again. And that my mother is Shakti De, that she has the power through Kali to know light in the darkness. I still call her my great one, my dark shaman, because she showed me how to be an evil man in order to activate and interact with evil men, and acknowledge their evil and transform it. If we don't acknowledge what is actually going on, if we don't see the suffering, we cannot change it to enlightenment.
Okay, so tell me this. Okay, so you're saying that you were taught to be evil so you could annihilate the evil man? Am I getting this right?
So that I could be lifted up by the evil. In quantum physics, they say there are 95% unknown. Only 5% can be categorized as physical.
Okay, so
We actually don't know the truth.
well, I don't know about you, but I know what I know. So what I want to tell you is what I want to say is this. So you're saying that the evil people or evil beings, I see them as demonic beings. These beings, you're saying that can change to be better people? Is that what you're saying? I'm just trying
I'm
to
saying
understand
that
where you're coming from.
inside of evil is a seed of light.
No, I totally know this. I know this for a fact. Okay, I'm not gonna say no, that's not right, because I know this, because the creator created this being who has become evil. Okay, turned evil. So I know that is the creator's creation. I totally get that, but the creator is not evil. So this being who turned against the mother and turned and became what he became, right? That was his decision. And whatever, it's a stupid story. But anyway, the reason I say stupid is that is literally, it's a family story that has become this, whatever mess we have got on our hands, that we've been dealing with for thousands of years, that we've been trying to get back on track from. But at the same time, I know Kali. I know what she has endured. I know, and yes, if you are saying that you are being taught to be a warrior, so you can help eliminate the evil, I understand that part. But if you are taught to be evil, so that you can help the evil people become good people or whatever, that I don't understand, because that shit does not work with me. At least it doesn't. Now me as a creator being, me as Shakti, me as Parvati, or me as Kali will not accept it. Now I don't know you and your mother, what happened there. I don't know. And I know where, with you coming from Mormon background or whatever, I know it's like a cult system which is very, very hard. And you grew up in a.
Here is the paradox: is that in fundamentalist Mormonism, everyone points at it and says that is a toxic patriarchy. But when you take the numbers, that is a toxic matriarchy, and the women who are fertilized by the men to create the children are leading the organization. In fact, if you look up Warren Jeffs is the evil patriarch of this society. However, His mother is the one leading the fundamentalist Mormons now. And when you see the truth of the evil as it is powerful, all power comes from Shakti, which is energy. And all human power, which is evil, comes from evil womanhood. There is no such thing as a toxic matriarchy if there are more enlightened matriarchy, which is more powerful.
How? Okay,
And there is no such thing as a toxic patriarchy because it is a matriarchy. The existence of
no, it was
life,
it
the
was
natural
matriarchy,
form,
which was
is a
flipped.
matriarchy.
No, but yeah, the original is a matriarchy, which was flipped, right? But what okay, so I'm gonna say this to you. So when you say that the women, right, were fertilized by this one guy, fertilized, say, one woman with 12 kids or 15 kids or whatever, right? And so you're telling me the woman was okay with this, like she allowed it, or was she forced? She allowed it or she was forced?
No, she was possessed by her male patriarch.
Okay, so she's not evil. She's been, so it's like, okay, so let me explain this to you. So basically there is a male entity that's attached to her who is sexually hungry, because this is what this is, and is intentionally attacking her. And every time, because she's fertile, she's a womb. Okay, every woman is a womb. So because she's a womb, which is the creation of home of creation, she doesn't have a choice. And women stay fertile for a period of years. So if he started with her, I don't know, whatever age, even if it was like early adulthood and not in teenage years. I know a lot of them start in teenage years, but even in early adulthood, and went, that woman could give birth freaking every year, every other year. She could be giving birth to 30, 40 kids, depending on how early they started this. So, this is called possession of a body that is not even there. Now, let me explain to you what happens to the original soul when a body is possessed. Because your body is a vessel. Your body is not the soul. Your soul sits in the body. So once an entity takes over that body, the soul has to leave that body. That soul cannot stay in that body. So your mother or whoever was in there originally doesn't even exist. They already left. So this entity is controlling the mother's body. That's not even your mother. That's an entity who's walked into that body. This is called a walk-in or a possession of a body. This is what the evil is. This is what we're trying to get rid of. This is what happens. Hold on. Let me explain this to you. This is what happens when celebrities say they sold their soul. Literally, entities take over that body, and that soul does not have any way of existing. This is what happens to all the celebrities. This is why they are evil. This is why they do what they do. Because it's not them, it's entities, spirits that get into those bodies. So that's not your, I'm sorry to say, but that's not even your mother.
What I'm saying is that she developed the capacity to no longer be in darkness. And instead, she rose above it and she rode on the darkness. And in my latest dream with her, she was on a black dragon and she was riding through the galaxies in her capacity to live in the darkness. And she showed me how to enter into the darkness and not be hurt. And she invited me to enter into the darkness and have truth. She actually invited me to embody my darkness. And that is when I became enlightened the first time.
So when you see her,
Kundalini experience.
when you see her, do you see her in as complete darkness, or do you see her as light? What do you see her as?
No, no, she has many planets of light that she created of her own being. And her own father, who was the original dark being which possessed her, is hanging upon her belt now. She gave him to me. She gave me the truth of the evil of this world through my grandfather. And she taught me the alphabet the way that he taught it to her. And in when I was 24, before I became a father, like it was exactly 10 years ago, then she reminded me of who I am through who I am not. She taught me how to be a wave on the ocean of darkness who has all access to darkness, however, is not darkness itself. This is the surfboard. This is the human which rides the wave. This is also the leaf on the wind. This is also the endless cycle of enlightenment. That I can create planets, that I have creation inside of me, that my physical form now in this existence as male does not limit me to no creation.
Right.
That I still have capacity in my mind to create, even if my physical body is not creative. That basically that the the world that I grew up in, where just like her, many ancestors of evil were possessing many bodies, that I could access those ancestors in my relationships with my wife and my ex-wife, and I could see the attachment, and I could see the succubus as the
Wow.
male, and I could
Wow.
see that the
That's
male was
exactly
parasitic.
that's what I was talking about. The entity I was saying. They're succubus and incubuses, and this is what this whole
Because I
earth
have a wife and
has
I
done.
have an ex-wife and I have 5 children, and
Wow.
I know the name of the mother's demons. I know the name of the people who are influencing from great distances. I know the evil astral projections. I know the reason why my wife and my ex-wife cannot sleep, and I know them as what they are, which is unfortunately male. That is true. However, in my society, the physical truth is that the women were enacting a technically a spiritual evil patriarchy through their physical womanhood.
I don't believe that, but I mean that's again. I don't. I shouldn't say believe. I don't resonate with what you just said, because there's a lot of stuff that when you're talking to me, I can like tap into, and there's definitely okay. I'll say it like this. So when you were saying that you were taught to become evil but not be evil, like be able to work with evil
To
people or
to
be
know to
to
know
know,
evil.
right? So this is okay, it's like being a warrior, right? if you have to if you have to kill a bad person, you have to be able to be that kind of a person. Like a warrior is somebody who's going to get rid of the bad, right? But they have to do what the bad evil people do as well, right? The evil people kill others. The good person is going to kill the evil, so they stop killing the good people, right? So you as a being probably got taught to be a warrior that can maybe get rid of the evil. I don't know if you're a healer. I don't know what you are really in, as a being. You say you're enlightened, so there has to be some purpose for you, being who you are. But this is what I would see it as. Okay. Um, Having said that, the darkness of the cosmos or the universe is not the same as the evil darkness. Again, like I said, there is a lot. When we say evil, I say it as evil darkness. I don't say it as darkness, because darkness presented by night time is presented as the cosmos, is presented as a lot of stuff, right? So the evil darkness that has been created, like through the incubus succubus, is the parasitic beings, those who are, attacking humans, attacking children, attacking women, attacking man, attacking animals. I mean, everything on this planet practically gets abused, used, killed, eaten, beaten, you name it, raped, whatever, right? So the idea here is that this stuff cannot exist. And you saying that it's coming from the mother energy, yes, all of it is creation. All of creation is coming from a mother. It is divine feminine energy. Having said that, let me just say this: that doesn't mean it cannot be manipulated. It is manipulated. This is why it is what it is. Because the man, or the father, the male was not created to attack the mother, was not created to attack the mother's creation. That was not the intention. The male was created to protect the mother and her creation. But their children, and you've heard this in all kinds of religions all over the world, ancient and current, that there's brothers fighting, there's siblings fighting, there's siblings, who are, and there's fathers who have created, like Brahma created a daughter, slept with her, turned her into the wife. We were just talking about one of the things you were talking about, just brought that into my reality. A father sleeping with the daughter. This, you understand, this is the stuff we have come here to end. This kind of shit cannot continue. This kind of abuse cannot go on. This is not okay. This is incest. This is pedophilia. This is the stuff we are putting an end to. So when you're speaking to me, I am seeing this stuff, and I know exactly why I am here. Okay, and I am already doing the work I'm here to do. Okay, now when you talk of this is not, I cannot justify this kind of evil to be okay, or this kind of evil to just be a part of the cosmos or the darkness or whatever. It's not. There's no possible way, because you have to understand that it's unconditional love that is needed on this planet. Peace is needed on this planet. Kindness and compassion is needed on this planet. You think that everybody will understand what you just said? You and I can understand it because we are on the
I
same
don't
level.
seek to
But
help
most,
others understand
no, but I'm saying most
any
people
more
do not
than
understand like what you're saying. Half the stuff I say,
any more than I seek to understand myself. Um, Understanding myself is the key, and if I'm going to ascend the darkness and be the surfboard, be the wave, and not live inside of the darkness unconsciously and propel the darkness, the evil, then that means that I will have to acknowledge the darkness and manipulate the darkness for my better good so that the humans which I create can have a key to unlock the door to enlightenment, to transform suffering. It just means that if I am coward, if I am afraid,
no, you can't be.
if
That's,
if
yeah.
I am if I have the capacity to fear, then I shall learn.
Fear will teach you.
If the things which I don't know cause me to fear, then that means that I can grow a new passion of
Really?
life.
Because I don't believe
I
fear
can
can.
find peace
I don't think
and
fear can
love
teach you
through
anything.
that fear.
No, no, no. Fear cannot make you grow. Fear cannot make you. Fear can grow. Fear stunts your growth. Fear cannot make you. How are you going to grow with fear? Like, if you fear something, that's not going to make you. You overcome the fear, then yes, there's growth, right? You overcome the fear.
Yes, but
That's,
without the fear, there's nothing to overcome. Without the pain, there's no
yeah. But
salvation.
why is there a need to overcome anything? If I said to you, Sunburn, go skydiving, right? If I just said to you, tomorrow go skydiving, right? Now you have fear of height, right? So you have to overcome that fear. But if you didn't have fear of height, if there was no fear anywhere, and I just said to you, tomorrow we're going skydiving, you're going to see it as an adventure. You'll be like, yeah, sure, why not? Let's try this. It's a new thing. Do you get it? This is the thing people have to understand, that there was no need for fear. We did things without needing to overcome everything and anything. You just have to know that the way for humanity to exist is through learning, through play, adventure, exploring, experiencing. This is what we are meant to do on this planet. We're not meant to be in fear of this, that, and blah, blah. That's
Yes,
not why
but
we're
what
here.
about the mother?
The
The
mother is
mother makes
fine.
a
Mother
great
is
sacrifice.
incredible. Yeah, but mother is incredible. Mother is not the problem. It's the father and what has been created through patriarchy is where the problem is. Okay, you said you have a daughter? You said you have a daughter, right?
Yes, I have a mother.
You have a mother. If your mother was attacked and attacked and attacked and attacked, you'll be okay? You created that mother, right?
If my mother,
If your mother was attacked and
if,
attacked and
if
attacked and attacked, would you be okay?
yes, my mother was being attacked.
Were you okay with it as a child? Or at any age for that matter?
No, I was not okay as a
Okay.
child. But this is my journey. That
It's not your
not
journey.
only did I bring her joy as a child, I said,
Yes.
"Mother, here is my love. Here is my joy," and she said, "Here I am, being inhabited by the evil patriarchy,
Uh-huh.
and I am attacking you." And I said, "Mother, here is my love." And
Right, but were you
and the
abused by
other
your
side
mother?
of that is that her love was true as well.
Correct. Was she
Because she
abusing
showed
you?
me how not to be a man, which is to do the things that are best for humanity means that you do the inverse or the opposite of what you were shown a man is.
Right. So tell me this: were you abused as a child? Hold on
Yes,
one second. You were abused by your mother?
yes, I was.
Your mother abused you, but was this like sexually abused or physically abused or?
Mostly mentally, not sexually in any
Okay,
way. It was
okay. So
mentally
mentally,
mostly.
yeah,
And that
because
was
she was
because my mother was having a mental instability,
in her.
and she continued during my development with that.
Right, so she was just probably projecting what she was feeling on you, and you as a child had to deal with it. Okay, all right. So this is what I'm saying, right? Your mother went through a lot of stuff, and she made sure, even regardless of all of that, that you were not exposed to the kind of stuff she was exposed to, which I believe, okay, because no woman, I'm telling you, in especially cults that I am aware of, and I am part of this because I've experienced this shit, not in this lifetime, but I have experienced this as many lifetimes, where women are used and abused for this stuff, because this is a patriarchy thing. This is what men want. This is what the entities want. This is the incubus succubus shit, right? So this is what I'm saying. But she protected you from that part. This is why you, as a being who's able to now come out of this and be where you are and be able to tap into your higher self, your higher version, is because of this love that your mother had for you. You get it? Hey,
Yes,
be the
that's
person
why
who's,
that's why I acknowledge her as Kali and Shakti.
yeah.
Right,
That,
thank you
that
for having me.
are-
I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I was just listening, and I thank you for allowing me to speak. Sun Bun, is that how you pronounce it? Sun Bun?
You can also call me Sunny. My
Sunny.
sister used to call me Sunny.
Yes. I think what he was trying to say about fear. So I find it very interesting. If you really think about the concept of fear, a fear is a natural state that exists for us to have that state. It's if we stay in a state of fear, that would be the issue. So, for example, a child, if he's a young child and he's experiencing an authoritative male figure who is reigning terror over his life or his mother's life and his siblings' life, if that fear is not existent, then they become one of the pack or one of that group, and they can't feel that it's not wrong. Is that what you're trying to say? So that's what I'm imagining.
Yes, that conflict is convergence. That it is potentiality. Like that crisis is enlightenment. That
But-
transformation is the key.
Let me
And I
say
think-
this.
I think you have to be in a real. I've never experienced that personally, but I think if you're in that type of state or a household that has that type of unfortunately a setup, it could be easily okay to. You see many people believe that, and they say, "I believe my father, I believe my mother. No matter what they did, I honored them, and I worshiped them." And the ones who have a moment of fear, a deep fear, and they don't know why, and then they have that moment of, this is not correct because I feel something so wrong. And not that they're going to stay in that state of fear and be frozen, but it's just something that awakens them within the inside. And that I believe comes from the universe. I think for somebody to escape this, what you said you experienced is quite phenomenal. It is a miraculous because they've been indoctrinated since at birth.
Right.
Since birth.
See, so this, what he's explained and what you just said, right? So there is always a 50-50 chance. 50-50 chance in the sense that 50% chance that you either become the person that's abusing, or you don't be that and you be completely opposite and say, hey, you know what, that's wrong, I don't want to be that kind of a person, right? This is what it is. And the reason I say this is because I've come from a scenario like that from childhood, okay? And we were physically abused, and there were all four of us. We could have literally ended up being like our father, who was the abuser, right? But all four of us knew that that is not what we wanted, even though we grew up in complete fear. And when I say fear, like, oh, I don't want to go back there. But anyway, so it was really, really a hard place to be in as a child. And growing up as a teenager and into adulthood, it didn't stop after like, 5 years later it's changed. No, we had to come into adulthood and then fight to be out of that situation, because now we were able to fight back. As children, we couldn't fight back. My mother couldn't fight because she was part of this. She was also being abused. So this is what it was. So yes, children have the possibility of becoming the abuser because they think, oh, this is normal, this is how it's supposed to be, and or they will look at the scenario and say, you know what, the last thing I want to be is like my father, right? I am not going to do that to my children. I'm not going to do that to my spouse. I'm not going to do that to my family, right? So this is what it is. The reason I earlier said that nobody should experience trauma is because as a sentient being, we never needed any of this. We were complete as creator source. We never needed to grow. You see, they call this a school, right? They call the earth school. And they say, oh, we are brought here on this earth to learn. We never needed to learn anything because we already had the inner knowing, wisdom, and the inner knowing and the wisdom. We already knew everything. This is why we keep being told that we have to remember who you are. You're not here to learn anything. This repeating of life, the reincarnation loop or the cycle of birth and death, was intentionally created to keep bringing us back here. Now I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but it's a cycle where everybody in every religion tells you when you get when you die, you have to go to the white light, right? The white light is where everybody is looking to go, because this is what they're doing. It's a fakely created satellite where you're going. Now you go to the white light, they're putting you through this tunnel. In the white light tunnel, they're going to show you the review of your life, right? They're going to show you what you did in your past life. They're going to show you that you did this good, this bad. This is your Akashic records. The original Akashic records are not like this. These Akashic records, these are created by these bullshit beings. They show you that, and they convince you that you collected karma. Another bullshit word. Okay, this is coming from the eastern part of the world. It's all bullshit doctrination. Now you're being convinced that, oh, you have collected karma. Do you realize what they do to you? As a soul, you're believing them because they look like your ascended masters and your angels and whatever the heck. These are fake, demonic, bullshit, parasitic beings who are doing this. They are bringing you back on earth, right? And what are they telling you? Okay, you are a father who abused your children. Now you have to come as a child and you have to be abused. This is the learning. This is what they call you. What you do is what you get. Your karma, cause and effect. All right. So now you will come back, right? You, who was the father, now comes back as the child of the son. This is bullshit. This is so wrong. It was never meant to be like that. You were never meant to be somebody. If you're a father, you're going to be the father. I have a mother and a father, and they're always my mother and father, no matter how many lifetimes I've been here. Okay? This is how it's supposed to be. This is so horrible what they've done to humans. And now, then, not only that, but then they have you sign a contract. They have you sign a contract, and some of these contracts were abductions by the Greys, right? Oh, you're going to be abducted, you're this, they're going to take you, no harm is going to come to you. You sign this contract. As a soul, you sign the stupid contract because you're not even aware what the F is going on, because you're being now brought into this place instead of going into the cosmos where you belong, back to Creator. So now you sign the contract, then they wipe your memory of the last life. They wipe the memory and then they put you back into a womb, right? Back into the 3D plane. You come back into the same dance planet, doing the same bullshit. Everybody's doing the same nonsense, right? So now you come back to parents who are not going to homeschool you. They're going to put you in the doctrination 10, 12 years, 15 years of school. Then you're going to go into the 9 to 5 bullshit, right? So this is where you're coming back. So first thing they're going to do is jab you and disconnect your pineal from your third eye. This disconnection. First thing they give you on your foot is your first jab as soon as you're born. You think Creator Source is not that perfect that you need to be poisoned as soon as you arrive? Huh? And then you're coming into a planet where it's the same nonsense without the memory of your past life. And what were you told? You have to correct your karma. You have to fix that which you had done wrong. What are you going to fix when you did not come here with the memory of it? What are you going to fix? You're going to repeat the bullshit cycle. This is why we say we are ending the repeated cycles of whatever the bullshit we have done over generations. We are cutting the cords. We are ending those cycles. We are putting an end to it. This loop is intentionally created. You were never meant to go through that white light tunnel. This nonsense was never meant to happen, because you as a sentient being had nothing to learn. Nothing to learn. This is like you beat somebody into becoming someone they're not. That's what they've done. They've traumatized us, they've beaten us, they've literally made us into these beings who have no worth or value unless you do your shadow work, unless you start learning. What they tell you? They tell you that if you think about yourself, you're selfish. You need to be selfish. If you're selfless, you disconnected yourself from your own self. Less. Freaking spells. It's English language. It's common sense. But this is how easily they have manipulated us to believe that we cannot be selfless. Imagine you, Creator Source, looking at yourself in the mirror and thinking, man, I'm useless, I'm worthless, I look like this, I'm fat, I'm ugly. Because some people, some beings, your family, others, everybody defined who you are because they told you who you are. You don't tell yourself every day in the mirror, I love you and you are magnificent because you're creator source. But you allow others to define you and then you own that. Then you go in front of the mirror, right? And you then put that in your head. It keeps singing and ringing. Why do you think people do all this foolishness, commit suicide, or don't think they have friends, or are lonely, or there's something or the other going on? Because this is the world they created for us. It's called a world where you're dumbed down when you're creator source. Imagine that. Imagine you are the most powerful thing on this planet. This is why they're controlling your mind that creates, your thought that creates. They're controlling it. They're giving you what to think. They're giving you what to act, what to say, what to do. Everything they're telling you. Doctrination from when you're born. It starts from the minute you're born, your parents start teaching you, teachers start teaching you, all the elders, everybody you around is teaching you and showing you. And you take a child, let the child run wild in the woods, just observe and watch. The child is fearless, has no fear of anything until you say, be careful, you'll fall. Then you watch, the child will fall because you instill the fear. You projected what you feel on that child. We create this because we are indoctrinated into it. So it's breaking the cycles, breaking these bullshit spells, breaking all this nonsense. This is what we are here to do. Do you get it? So when I say you are a creator source being, imagine your creator source standing in front of you. How would you treat them? How would you treat them? Treat yourself like that. The way you bend backwards for your child, bend backwards for yourself. Understand your worth and value. When you love yourself unconditionally because you are unconditional love, you're coming from that. Then you know how to treat others. Then you know that your children, who are an extension of you, need to be treated with kindness and compassion, have to be brought up with full expression of the throat, which you didn't have the ability to have because you were restricted. This, your truth, that's fully express without, oh, you're not old enough, you can't say this, you have to be disciplined, you have to have respect, you have to do this, you have to do this. Do you realize that if our elders had done it right, we would not be here? All of these generations of bullshit they pulled through the patriarchy, and they're allowed go in, I'm telling you, go research how they treat women and children and men, even parts of this earth. Your mind will be blown. Okay, it is that horrible. Because why? It's a tradition. Why? Because this is how they've done it for years, for generations. Because we have to follow what we have been taught. Because, oh no, it's not okay to break the rules and laws. Yet, they will go and drive a brand new car. They'll go and wear the clothes of the modern man and modern world. They'll buy all the freaking gadgets sold as commercial bullshit, right? But the women have to have their fucking shit pulled all the way till here so their face cannot be seen. They cannot go and get educated because, oh no, it's a woman. She doesn't need to do anything other than cook and have babies. She can't have any worth and value, right? And the man have to be a certain way. They have to be brought up a certain way. This bullshit needs to end. And it can only end if we recognize that all of these bullshit belief systems, through religions, through traditions, through cultures, through whatever the fuck it is, has to be brought to an end. Break these rules and laws and cycles. We are here to do that. And our children, they're here ready. They're unconditional love. Observe your children. They're ancient, wise beings who can teach you a few things. They don't need to wake up. They don't need to be taught shit. They already know. And you know what's funny is they're coming fully awake, remembering. They're literally coming with all the wisdom. They can sit you down and teach you a few things. That's how mine are. I don't know about everybody else, but that's how brilliant my kids are. And so I say this to people: if you are experiencing scenarios where your children can collect trauma in your family scenario or situation, teach them to completely express through here. That means you allow them to scream, yell, swear, whatever it is, to get that shit out of their system so they don't sit with that trauma and come into adulthood and have to do shadow work like we are having to do, and learn our worth and value. Teach them that they are worthy from when they're born. Teach them that they don't need to compare themselves with anybody, that there is no competition. This is not a competition. Nobody needs to compete with anybody. You see, they've given us things. Huh? From the day they go to school, oh, you have to be first in your class. How? 20 different kids. Huh? 20 different minds, 20 different brilliant, talented children who have their own gifts. They all have to do the same bullshit because that's what they expect. And then one child comes first and the rest of them don't, so now the rest of them are not good enough. And there is a competition happening. And if the one who came first, right? The one who came first sees the other ones as not good enough because, oh, I won and you didn't. What are you teaching your kids? You're just teaching them that there is a hierarchy. And we are here to break the hierarchy. We are here to get rid of this bullshit that you're better than me and I'm better than you and I need to be on a pedestal and you're not good enough. And we need to look at somebody like, oh, celebrities, oh my goodness. Oh, this one's rich, oh my goodness. Oh, this one has so much money, oh my goodness. It's all BS. So this is what it is. The idea is to recognize yourself as a creator, your children, your women, your parents. Unity. Unity can only happen if you see it like this. Otherwise, there's no point of this. There's no point because you can't. If you can't see unity in humanity, how are you going to see unity in creation? How are you going to go out there and talk to a tree when you can't see it in your own home? You can't see it in your own surrounding. You can't see it in your own kind of people, right? And everybody wants to recognize everyone with their skin color, what culture, what food you're eating, where you're coming from. If you're immigrant, you're this, you're that. They're all kinds of bullshit. Dude, this is a borrowed place. We all come here only for a temporary time, right? Then we all go. So nobody owns nothing on this planet. Nothing. You don't own nothing. Not even this body. You don't own it. It's a temporary thing that you leave and go. So I know it's a lot. I just, but it's this is literally like I get really passionate about this. But it's
I mean, I feel you. I mean, you get it. You get the point that, you know, as we are here, there is a belief for society that we have freedom, but in fact we don't. But we can change that.
Mhm.
And I hear you trying to spread the message so other sentient beings understand,
right.
you know, that in order for that to be heard, in order for us, I had this thought. I don't even know if it's a thought because, you know, the way I break it down, certain things come to me and they're
Yeah.
not from me. I don't know if it's my, you know, I say it's not my mind, it's from
Yeah.
another place, you know.
Your higher
And
self.
in order for us to all rise or to stop this cycle, there has to be a large enough amount of us, right? So we have to have balance and then we have to tip the scale a little bit so that way we can stop the cycle. Otherwise, this is just perpetuating the same exact thing. Exactly what you're saying, the same vicious cycle.
Right, and this.
And yeah, I mean it's very hard because I call it you could call it, you might call it whatever you want to call it, but the people who have set this up are very aware that if they keep us in this capitalistic mindset, or in the desirable mindset to have physical things that we may not need, or to, not share, right? Because
Right.
we want to hoard, we want to have greed, specifically the ones who are at the very top, which is extremely disturbing.
Right.
We will, a lot of us will never awaken, even though we hear it, even though we
Yeah.
see it, even though they see it and they hear it, they won't acknowledge it because they're so busy.
Correct.
So yeah, I hear you, and I think we're at a point in time in this world where, I think there's a group of us that feel the shift and that we want it, but when we go out into society, when I go out into society, I see it's so different. The people they're not there yet. I'm like, and here I go on TikTok and I'm like, yes, I hear it, I see it, I feel it. But so I just feel like we got to take this voice, and I take this voice with me when I go outside, and sometimes drop little beacons of fairy dust, or whatever you want to call it, light, and
Yeah.
hope that sparks something in a person, just by, like you said, being real, being yourself. Because like, this is a vessel. Really, all of this is a journey.
Correct.
And what we really need is compassion and love. We need compassion
Yeah,
and love,
that's
and nobody should be suffering. Right?
exactly.
There shouldn't be suffering, like you said.
No.
But some of these people, some of these beings are going through this journey and they had it. But we can see that it doesn't need to exist.
Exactly. And it's
And
not
we can
complicated.
see a future without it existing. And that's why we're so passionate, because we can imagine a world, because we know it can exist.
Correct. You see,
I think that we actually are the world where it doesn't exist. And we bring ourselves to this world, like she said, where there is no tunnel, there is no white light, and there is no destination.
exactly.
We are that.
We are
And
exactly.
we
See,
portal creation through our existence. We actually bring healing. We actually bring enlightenment. We bring God or a goddess. We bring divinity and all of the powers of energy to our birth. And from then, as long as we are selfish enough to be that which we are,
yes.
we will be the tree in the wind or the rock in the river. We will create the world as it is meant to be. And there is no such thing as destruction or non-creation. All there is a pace of creation. And it is up to us to change the dynamic at which we develop. And there is no suffering, there is no darkness, there is no evil.
Thank you, preservation.
All there is us picking that pace.
Yeah, look, you have to recognize that you're coming from the highest frequency, highest vibration, highest dimension, because you are creator source. And when you recognize that, then there is nothing that can stop you from achieving what you want, just not just for you and your family, but for all of creation. This is why in the beginning, when I started the live, I said all the fake weather created to keep us in this state of panic and all of this nonsense they're doing up here in the West, in the US, every weekend, they're planning this intentionally. Every weekend, you will see that they're talking about severe weather, severe weather. We have the ability to collapse this weather. Do it. Anytime you hear a prediction that is going to destroy creation and do harm to any part of creation, collapse it. I just say, I collapse this. It's not our timeline. If it's a tornado, if it's a hurricane, whatever it is, storm, go in the eye of it. Imagine you're in it, disperse it, weaken it, completely make it go away, because the goal is not to create more destruction. The goal is not to destroy any part of existence, any part of creation. Okay, and we have the ability to do this because this is how powerful we are. This is what they've tried to stop us from doing, creating through the thought, the imagination, right? And words. I collapse this as a negative paradigm, dimension, timeline, template, spell, curse, experiment. Because this is all the stuff they're doing every single day to make sure that we don't get what we want happen on this earth. And this distractions, in the West is because of the Epstein files. They don't want those to come out. So this is what the bullshit they pulled. But they're coming out. The truth is coming out. I don't care who says what, all of it is going to come out. Because this is what I put in as what needs to happen on this earth. Humanity needs to wake up and realize that they're a slave to a system that they need to step out of and they need to collapse. And it can't happen if 5 people are doing it when there's billions who need to rise. We need billions to wake, right? To rise.
My teacher Ty said that in order for a future to be possible, each human must find peace.
Yes, but how do you find peace if you're still in chaos of fight and flight mode and survival mode? You can't. Everyone needs to recognize that the necessities, like I said, of humans are very few, and all the stuff that they've created as commercial merchandising all over this earth that they think we need conveniently, we need to declutter from. Decluttering outside, decluttering inside. This is the only way you can get away from it. Look, I said this, if a government did not exist, do you know how to grow your own food? Can you build your own house? Can you do those things that allow you to exist as a sovereign and free being on this planet? Are you able to help others? We did barter trading. They still have places they barter trade. I grew up with barter trade. I watched my grandmother. She used to take grains. They're farmers. She would take grains in her sari to the shops that sold things like milk and vegetables, and should exchange it with the same weight. We don't need money. We never needed it. These are things, these are constructs given to us. This is all fake shit that we have never needed. But how do they control? They're calling a paper money. Paper. It has no freaking value, you understand? It can burn just like this. But we carry it like it's our life. Our life depends on it. Do you realize how they're fooling us? There's no value to the thing.
It's
Huh?
necromancy. It's the unalive bodies of a tree.
Yes, exactly.
The worship of the unalive. It is the belief in physical existence and science and the ability to reduce things into some measure or fake value. It is not real value.
Because it's sacrificial.
To say that we know something
Yeah.
and that we can measure something, it is all reductionism. It's saying that we can run around like busy beavers and we will not get flooded by the river. We will never be found in nature because nature has no mercy for us. And be afraid. Because Shakti and Kali, they're coming for you, and that is the truth. The truth is that you can never run from what is real. You can never escape what is true, and that your Creator loves you. that you have the love of your creation inside of you, and you can never escape that. That is why we run around with our microscopes and our telescopes, and we try to say, I know what this is, I know what that is. And in the end, we can't prove that space exists, or time exists, or the speed of light exists, or anything. We don't even, in quantum physics, there are 95% phenomena unexplained.
You see, this is why we are told to remember, because when you remember, you know what it is. When you don't remember, they have to figure it out, right? That's why they do what they do in the labs and the bullshit science that they have on this planet. It's the idea is that you have to just recognize it's all here. Okay, they want to tell you there's outer space, they want to tell you there's stuff flying and floating in the air, they want to give you all kinds of ideas, but it's none of it is all ritualistic stuff, right? None of what they're telling you is the truth. Dimensions exist right here. Okay, you can be in a different dimension, I'm in a different dimension. This is all the difference there is to this. Outer space just means land that's beyond our earth, right? There's a lot of stuff that they want us to think is happening which is not really happening the way they want us to think. So for us, once you know what you know, and you've been you've traveled and you've been brought places and you know how this all stuff works, you can't believe the bullshit anymore, right? You recognize it for what it is. And everything is a spell that we are under. Okay, everything that they've created as a construct is created with that in mind, because unless you take from nature, unless you abuse nature, you don't got anything. Do you understand? Everything is coming from there. It's coming from the earth. It's coming from the mother.
I agree.
There's nothing.
I agree. I always sorry to interject, but the way I look at it is if you can appreciate and have reverence for, let's just say, an ant, a mosquito,
Right.
a bug, the things that are by societal norms are considered maybe nuisance or disturbing, they have purpose. They are you. We are all connected, and there's so much beauty and everything is here. Everything is here, and there's so much abundance, but it is hidden. And the urgency that you feel, I sense, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, is maybe and I could be, because I perceive there's an urgency because we see the scales are tipping and it's happening very quickly. And like you said, the clouds, it's so interesting because I do feel, I go outside and I said, am I the only one seeing this? Am I the only one feeling this? And I did not know the extent until I started looking into it. But even before that, I could feel it. I could sense it. I could see the sun doesn't feel the same glow. And yes, you're absolutely right. It is made to distract. And for us, everything is as distraction. So people just do not remember.
Right. And a lot of them are so because the majority of the people on this planet are on survival mode, they don't have the time. Like, you're busy trying to make money just for that day, to be able to feed your family, to be able to pay the bills, to be able to make it through the day, right? So you don't have time to worry about, oh, there's going to be a flood or a snowstorm or hurricane or whatever. If when you hear that, all you're going to do is worry. That is what they want. As soon as you start worrying about, oh no, a storm is coming and I have no place to sleep, I have no place to go, you just fed that storm energy to happen. Do you realize? This is what they are depending on.
Acknowledgement is intention.
Exactly.
Attention is intention.
Exactly.
Observation is intention.
Exactly.
And just as a mother who looks upon the well-being of her child intends for its well-being, the same thing exists when she is afraid.
Yeah.
Or when the child experiences some discomfort.
Right.
I've seen many times, because I have 5 children now, I've seen many times when the children are okay. They have no need for a bottle. They have no need for a diaper. They have no need for anything. But their mother is so strongly in the protective mode that she would be afraid that they're unsafe. And they then would acknowledge the pain of her emotion. That is it.
That's the projection. That's what I was.
To their mother, which is even the deeper mother, the cosmic mother.
Yeah.
And when they acknowledge their own mother, they see and they understand and they let her voice out. I have never heard my wife's voice better than through the child which we bore together.
Yeah. So that's what I was saying earlier. Remember what I said? That we as parents will project on the child our fears because until that happens, the child is free. The child is sovereign. The child is enjoying life. The child has no fear. The child wants to explore and play and experience and touch and feel, right? This is how children are. But as soon as we feel like, oh no, the child is hungry, we need to feed the child, or we need to do this, or oh no, the child's gonna fall, we gotta be careful, we gotta, protect them. But that's not protection, that's actually creating the fear as a part of their existence. We teach them the fear. We teach them to be careful, to watch out, to suspect, to question. And questioning is not bad, but if it comes to when it's fear based, then there is a problem. You see, so this is what it is. This is why I say fully allow them to express. Don't don't say this is discipline. Discipline doesn't need to happen if you're raising the children the right way. There's no need for discipline. Yeah, you might have to tell them time out, you need to sit there for 5 minutes, right? Time out, you need to go and sit in your room and not do anything until I tell you to come out. That is okay. But a lot of the discipline was not done right, right? Where you are slapped or beaten and told, you go to bed, you're not eating food, you did this wrong, now you're, shame on you, this is blah blah, making the child feel their worth and value is not important, there's no respect. Because this is something that should start from a young age. Respect. And I say this, respect them like their creator source. Respect them so they understand or understand that this is something that they've been feeling from a young age, and this is something that everybody deserves. And kindness and compassion and unconditional love, there should be no conditions to any of this. And not just for the children, even for the spouses. This is where the problem happens, is why do we separate? Because the conditions come into play. Oh, you don't do this for me anymore, so I'm not going to do this. And if you don't do this, then I don't think this is worth my time or effort. I don't care to take care of you. I don't care, I don't care to do this, so I don't care about that. This is what it is. So we have to bring back unconditional love. Is the only way we can have things get back on track, because conditioning has been done from birth to everyone on this planet. And when we say we are creator source, that's what
the
we
way
are.
that I see it is that peace is only accessible through chaos, which is the wrongful interpretation or the human condition. Chaos doesn't actually exist in nature. It only exists in human nature. And when we see nature interacting, we don't have predators and prey like we labeled them. We have natural cycles, and we have conscious transference, and we have reincarnation, we have rebirth. We don't have some unaliving, some chaos, some evil hell, or some suffering. There's no such thing. In fact, there's no such thing as sacrifice in nature. And the closer thing to that would be existence or continuation. The animal that eats the other animal is that animal,
Yeah, but
and the plants that eat the carbon out of the atmosphere, they are that carbon, and we don't have to have some description of chaos as if it is something that is real. We don't have to believe that evil exists. All we have to do is live. And when you turn the word evil around, you have live. And when you turn the word devil around, you have lived.
right, and that's the truth.
This is the natural cycle and its gift to us, which is its fossils, its geological construction, the erosion and the waves on the sand. You have this earthen self, and inside of our core, in our heart, we are fiery, we're passionate, we're well tuned. And as soon as we learn something about these 12 mental perceptions that can control this earthen self, this heart, this physical experience, then we try to cut off the truth. But in the end, actually, we always burn through. We always have our heart coming out and bleeding out and saying the truth about how we feel. In our actions, in the thoughts, in the way we speak, we have these uprisings, these experiences, these exuberant emotions like we cannot control. There's no such thing as control. There's no thing that is felt that will not be seen or known. And Shakti guides us whether we want that to be true or not. We are of her. We are a leaf on the branch. We are a sprout in the ground.
Can I
There is
ask you?
no unearthen.
Can I ask you a question?
You don't say humanism and then say plantism or cowism or wolfism or pigism. You don't say that. Humanism is important because only humans have the idea to have an ism. And until we connect to our truth, we cannot have a functioning mind.
So can I ask you something? You connected.
Yes.
You speak of Shakti, right? Do the Mormons believe in Shakti?
No.
So
I sought out Shakti. Shakti's only been present in my life for about 4 months.
4 months, okay. So
And
the
she
reason
has
I'm asking,
shifted all of my relationships.
yeah,
Since I started chanting to Shakti,
yeah,
my life has unfolded and supported me, including my institutions of my local police department and my local court, and also the rehabilitation institutions in the community, and the ones that are fake that claim that they're rehabilitation institutions, but they're not supporting. And I've been able to see the truth in my own community through Shakti.
yeah. The only
Because I've
reason
been
I
able to
asked,
connect to my life, to my energy source, and act as her, and be her, and embody her,
yeah,
and become her. That my children deserve Shakti.
yeah, everybody does, and everybody has, but they don't recognize. You see, this is the thing. Shakti is energy. Energy is divine feminine, mother, and this is what this is. So you have woken Shakti up within you as a creator source being, which is the mother aspect basically, and that's what that is. So I was just curious because I haven't heard much about the mother and as the creator Shakti, you know, in the Western world, as in like Christianity or Mormonism is what, Judaism, or is it separate from Judaism? Because I'm not too familiar with this.
The Christians hate Mormons.
Oh,
They say that Mormons are not true Christians,
okay.
and that's because Joseph Smith is L. Ron Hubbard in the 19th century.
Yeah.
He's
I
a
don't.
science fiction artist. He's an author about a story about a planet called Kolob where God lives. And
Yeah.
so it's this weird extractionism of divinity. It's kind of like Star Wars meets Christianity.
Yeah, so you know what? I'll just say this to you, the way you just explained that to me. Just first of all, the word God. So God actually, the, all the gods, as we know them on this earth or on this planet, and the different religions, because every religion has their version of a god or gods. The eastern part of the world has many, many gods. I'll just say this to you. So the original organic divine father, okay, I'll say it that way, does not play God. Neither does the mother. Okay, so divine creator source mother herself does not play God. Why do I say this? Is because when you play God, and which you have seen and witnessed on this planet, the many, many gods that people pray to, what happens is there's a control system through religions, through this God system, which makes people feel and believe that their God is better than the other God. In this process or in these belief systems, there have been many wars where they have unalived each other and come to a point where they're trying to convert these people to this religion and those people to this, and they think their religion is better than the other religion. I had an incident, and I've spoken of this before. I had an incident. I homeschooled my children, so we were part of a Protestant Christian group, and so all the parents would teach the children. And so my children were much younger at the time. We just joined the group. It had been maybe a few weeks, and they noticed that the parents are teaching. So my kids were like, "Mom, can you please teach a class?" They were excited. So they're like, "Can you please teach a class?" And I was like, "Sure, I'll ask." And so I talked to the lady who was running the group, and I said to her, I was like, I'd love to teach a class if it's okay. And she said, "I'm sorry, but you can't do that unless you convert and accept Jesus Christ as your Savior and your, God or whatever." And so I said to her, at the time I followed Hinduism, which is, what I was brought up as. And so I said, "I'm sorry, but I can't do that. I have my own belief system." And so she goes, "Yeah, but you know that if you don't accept Jesus Christ as your Savior, you're going to go to hell." So here I am, three of us are sitting, and she just said that to me. I look at the other lady, and I said to the lady who just said that to me, I said to her, "What if I say to you that if you don't believe in my Krishna, you're going to go to hell, and this lady here sitting here tells you that if you don't believe in her Muhammad, that you're going to go to hell, then hell better be a really big place, because everyone's going to hell on this planet, okay? Because everyone has a different belief system, right? So this is the thing. So what has occurred with this God system? This is what we have to get away from, because there is no God. These are demons. The one who is the actual creator, mother, father, do not play God. Why do I say this? Imagine you as a parent, you have children. Imagine you telling the children, if you want me to feed you, sacrifice to me. If you want me to play with you, you need to do this. If you want me to get you something, you need to bow to me. If you want me to get you this, you need to do this. Is that what we do as parents? No. We do what we have to do for the children because these are our children. We take care of them, we provide for them, we protect them, we do everything we can to make sure they have a good upbringing. This is generally most parents, right? So I say, go look out in nature. Look out in nature and tell me, where does it show you that they're fighting for room? That there's a tree with, something sitting on it, there's a nest in it, there's a creeper climbing it, there's grass growing next to it, there's all kinds of animals and birds using it. Where have you seen out in nature where any of part of nature said, hey, this is my space, this is my land, don't do anything here, this is my body, don't do anything on my body, do not make a house here? This, all of creation is what? Is creator source, just like we are. If we are being provided with the knowledge, the knowing that, oh, if you go by a river, you build a house there, you grow a little farm, you'll be able to have a nice life. You can grow food, you can take care of. This is what they've done. Creator source has given us all the resources. The assholes decided to put a price tag on it and sell you your own water, sell you the land, sell you your own food, sell you the air. They're selling you everything. And we are sitting here like fools and buying it. Do you think you need to buy land? When there's so much land all over the earth, you could just freaking go and put up a house wherever. You think you need all the wood, you have to cut down all the wood, when all the mud, the earth, and some grass can build you a nice hut? You think we need all this? No, but what happens? We are taught that we need a lifestyle, that we need to be a certain way, that we need to show off, we need to look like this, we need to dress like this, we need to live like this. This is all this is. So God, if there's someone you relate to as a god, or you're connecting to as a god, that's not a god. That's a negative being. Because the original mother father do not play god. They come with unconditional love. They have provided you with the entire earth, and all the resources is your birthright here. With respect, you are able to use the stuff on this planet. Not abuse, use what you need. Take what you need, appreciate it, thank it for allowing you to pick the fruits and the vegetables and the flowers and whatever it is that you're taking from nature. A balance. You're not supposed to go
I
abuse anything. Go ahead.
I like the idea of how to differentiate between discernment and discrimination. Discrimination does not exist. However, discernment does exist. As we go through life, we feel that we need oxygen, so we have just discerned our existence. Do we decide that there is some kind of air which cannot be breathed or should not be breathed? We do not discern that. That is called discrimination. There is no resource which is not abundant. There is no living water which does not provide life. In fact, if you take the count of our body cells and the count of the microbes in our bodies, they are 1 for 1. There are as many physical body cells as there are living organisms living within the body cells. We are an ecosystem. We are a forest on legs. We have every bit of Shakti in us. And the life source, as we decide, is to be discerned, it is to be selected. And the thing that I live by when I go into these big philosophical debate lives on TikTok, because that's what I like to do, I say, if you have no preference for tolerance, you will never tolerate a preference. And that means that if you do not open your heart, you will not receive. And Shakti is an open heart with all of its beating muscles. She is a beautiful circulation of life.
Correct.
We are not without her.
There's no way to be. There's no way to be. It's just like I said, recognizing. And you see, we have been taught to recognize the Father as the creator. So a lot of people don't really connect to the divine feminine mother as the energy that they hold. They don't see it as that. And they don't feel it as that. And this is where the problem occurs. And so the idea is people, first of all, have to recognize that they are the mother, they are coming from the mother, and everything within them is the mother. This is,
Shakti Day or Adi Shakti.
yeah, this is
It
the
just means
awakening. This is the way to wake up, to understand, to remember, to know, right? This is what this is.
it is remembrance. There is no new information.
No, there
is
isn't.
only remembrance.
Exactly. Exactly.
And every man was a woman in his past life.
And all of it is women. It is all women, but what they've done because of the male aspect, what they've done is it's like using it against them, using each one against each other. This is the friction. This is the division. This is all this is. Because you as a male, right? I'll just give you an example. You as a male, who you have a partner, your divine feminine partner, right? This being, you connect to her, right? You can understand her better because you have a balance of the divine mother within you already awake, right? So when your partner is, say, emotional, for instance, right, you are able to be there, you're able to hold her through that emotion, right? You're able to be the safe space for her, you're able to allow her to be in her femininity without worrying or without wondering if she'll get criticized or if she'll get laughed at or nagged at or whatever, right? This is what it is. Most men are clueless to this kind of stuff. Okay, most men will be like, oh, why are you crying? All you do is cry, right? I don't want to deal with this. Like, this is what I'm saying. So this disconnect is where the problem occurs, and this is what it is. Otherwise, every man, like I said, the balance is this Shakti, the energy, the mother. That is the balance. And they removed that from the man. They disconnected the man from it. Trust me, there are things there's so much
There is
stuff.
no linga without the yoni.
Yeah, they can't be. Because it's inversion, right? It's not inversion, but it's like the yoni, what is inside is the link. You understand?
Yes. Inside and outside of the yoni is the lingam.
So the male is the outside of the link. The yoni is the inside. So when the link goes in, it's an exact fit. Do you understand? It's the same part. One is outside, one is inside. That's all it is. People don't get this.
It's not special. It's just
No, it's not special. It's
true.
created.
It's just acknowledgement of phenomena. I like philosophies like, it's called functionalism and naturalism.
Yeah.
And these philosophies mean that you shall not put a name on something unless it already exists in nature. So don't try to create outside of creator. Go in and do your best to see what you see and acknowledge what you see. That is phenomena and noumena.
is hard to though.
Naturalism and functionalism.
Yeah, but it is hard though to create something outside of creation because there is nothing. Everything is creator's
But we've been
source.
trying. We've been talking about the speed of light and
Yeah, but
time
that's
and
foolish.
space and quantum physics
Okay, but
and microscopes and
okay, but do you
and
realize?
telescopes. We think that we're scientists and that we can go outside of Shakti.
But do you know that this is the fake bullshit science they're trying to sit in a lab and create? You and I both know that there is nothing that doesn't already exist and has not existed. It's always been here. It's always going to be here. Them trying to replicate creation doesn't mean it's going to happen or it's going to be exactly the same. It's like cloning. They're cloning the things don't live long enough because it's not, there's no Shakti in it because of how they're doing it. Do you understand? So you using what is already here to make something doesn't make it what the creator source creates. You can't do that. They're trying. They are attempting to do all kinds of bullshit and present us with this nonsense and that nonsense. But as the truth comes out, everyone will realize that it's not there's nothing you don't already know and already have on this planet. It's already existed, always been here. There's nothing new happening. They want you to think it's new. It's just like the technology. Look what they're doing with the technology, right? They're feeding it to us like little babies, okay? They're giving us a little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little bit of this. The thing is, the technology that they're giving us is radiation. They don't want us to use the ether, so they keep giving us this new bullshit technologies that are harming us intentionally, right? So the thing for us is what? I tell people this all the time. You have your phone, right? Your cell phone has what in it? It has crystals in it. What is crystals? You and me are crystals. Everything is crystals. Everything on this planet is that. So what do? They want to give you radiation? I don't believe I can be affected by this shit. I just talk to it and I say activate source codes within you. You already have crystals within you. So now I'm going to make you mine. I'm not going to let that affect me or my kids. I teach them to do the same thing because I can speak to the thing just the way you speak to your water and your food to make it originally organically what it is. Same thing. All of it is created from the earth.
It is a new or a remembered Shakti. Even technology is Shakti.
Look, it's
And we try so hard. Run! It's Shakti. We must be man. We must have more than Shakti. We have to prove that we are not of the creator source, that we are something greater.
That's the fight. That is the actual
And in the
fight.
end,
Hey Zoe.
we are women first.
Hey,
we are women first. And before we're born as men, we were women in the womb.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Everyone starts as a female and then the male happens. So this is the truth. This is the biology. See, the ones who want to control, the ones who want to make it sound like they're the ones who are doing this, they're the ones who are creating new things, they're doing this. This is just some patriarchy bullshit that they're just trying to pull on humanity. But once you start waking up and you realize science is fake, history is planned and pre-planned and created intentionally to keep us in a low vibrational state, math is fake, English is spells, right? All of this stuff. Like once you realize this, you just disconnect from the crap. And you as creator source know you're creating in the now. So you just change everything to what you want it to be. Right? That's how it's done. They say manifestation. What is manifestation? Manifestation is creating in the now. What are you wanting?
It's womanifestation.
Yeah, well,
it's not manifestation. It's not history.
It's not it's her story. It is her story.
It is her story.
It is.
We all live here with her grace.
Yes.
Shakti bestows the grace and creates Shiva. We do not have grace as men.
No.
In fact,
but you're not
only
supposed to.
That a mother would be our ancestor or our grandmother somebody would have the grace, because as men, we must seek to Shakti to receive the grace. We must find nature. We must go and let go of the lingam. We must enter into the yoni in our hearts, in our minds.
Right.
We must become the yoni within. We cannot have some beautiful existence of Shakti without knowing the truth of our own existence. We can't go out and harvest Shakti. There's no such thing.
That's exactly it, right? So this is what I said. When you have the complete balance and you understand, you understand that you are the mother, then the everything changes, because now you're acting as that, right? The way you behave with women, the way you treat the feminine, the way you speak, the way, like you said, you have the mother as your child, right? So we in the Indian culture also see the women or the children who are feminine as a mother aspect, right? And a lot of the times they will touch the feet of the child even if she's younger or is a baby, because that's how much respect is given to a feminine child. Having said that, they also do horrible things there, but this is just an example I'm saying. So recognizing the divine feminine from birth, this is what is needed on this planet. If that happens,
well, there's a fine line between worship and
no, not worship. No, we are not even
worship and worship. In fact, when we step outside of ourselves and say that we have no access to Shakti, and that only if we take from the earth can we have something. Only if we believe that we are the creators, then we have this ultimate power of harvesting, taking, receiving anything we want. And the divine feminine never needs. She is.
right.
She never wants.
She's complete.
She is.
She's complete in herself.
There is no fulfillment because there is no desire.
Exactly.
And all that is it's just existence. Right. This is why Shakti is Shakti. This is what creation is. And when we come and try to go outside of creation, we'll create these gods, we'll make these idols, we'll lop these heads off of their necks, and we'll make these pictures and these statues of some weird heads, and we'll make inaccessible route to God, and we'll say you cannot access God now because it is some stone head and you don't know what its body looks like. Maybe it's an octopus, maybe it's a shark, you don't know, but this is just a head god. You don't know what its body is. That is what we've been doing. We've been trying to say that Shakti is some creepy smile, some bad clown. But really, Shakti has nothing to do with what we are doing. That is us. And it is like the leaf on the branch. We will shake, we will flutter, and we will decay, and Shakti will go on.
Right.
There is
infinite.
There is no controlling or manipulating or even becoming Shakti. All there is remembering that we are Shakti. There's not really a becoming. When we understand the truth, we just let go of trying to cut things apart or put them up higher or change things or manipulate things. We are Shakti. We are divine energy. There is no mother, there is no father. There is only creation. And in my existence, I have lived this to its fullest. I've seen many religions. I've seen my mother. I've seen my father. I've seen the individuals become delusional and believe that they are the leaf on the branch, that believe that the wind will take them away, and it does take them away.
That's why, because they think like that. It's because of they're creating that for themselves. That's literally what it is. Well, anyway, guys, it's been I don't know 3 hours. I'm not even sure how long I've been on, but I think it must be at least three, if not more. If it's 4 hours, maybe. I'm not sure. It's like midnight over here. But yeah, no, it's I appreciate you guys
It's 10
being
o'clock
here.
here. I did a slumber party for my 6 and 7 year old. I better go make sure they still need me to read books to them.
There you
I'm
go.
being a bad father. I have to go.
No, it was a pleasure. Thank you for coming on. It was good. Enjoy your evening with them.
Thank you so much.
You're
And thank
welcome.
you, everyone.
Take care. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for the love, the kindness, the gifts, everything, and the support, the heart me's. I appreciate it very much. I'm gonna end the live. Please don't forget you are unconditional golden love light. Every place you go, make sure you're flooding the space with that. The idea is to make sure that you are not only changing the frequency and vibration there, but also making sure that things work out in your favor wherever you're going. Okay. Um, and the idea is to shift the space, shift the people there, and help others wake up as well, right? Um, I actually am a healer and I do free healings. So if you guys want a healing done, please reach out. I can get rid of all kinds of things, okay, and get you out of negative timelines and paradigms. So please reach out. I do it for free. All right. Um, before I go, guys, my tea. If you're trying to detox or heal from any kind of disease, imbalance, be it cancer, diabetes, whatever, chronic disease, anything at all, okay? This thing is like magic. I've had people use this and it has worked wonders. It has actually, it reverse ages you, okay? Infuse it with healing. So it's amazing. If you are within the US, I only ship within the US. So if you're within the US and you want to purchase from me, send me a message. If you want to make your own, the recipe is on my TikTok. Go and mix your own. And if you want guidance, please reach out. Send me a message and I'll guide you on how to go about doing that as well. Okay, so this is for detoxing and healing, and I highly recommend that people detox every 3 to 6 months. And if you have something severe, then I would recommend from a month to 3 months, okay, to get yourself on track. All right, so this is my tea, and I also do wire wrapping jewelry as well. If you guys are interested, please reach out. Stuff like this, what I'm wearing here. I have a couple other things I'll show you. Um, any kind of crystals, anything that you resonate with, right? I can create for you. I do all kinds of stuff: bracelets, earrings, pendants, um, necklaces, all kinds of stuff. So reach out if you're interested, and we can talk about it and put I can put stuff together for you. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate it. Kisses until I see you guys again. Okay, take care.